gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. We play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm forth, I can tear it down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down. Cut the fix up with some Xbox babies, put the switch up. See me gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. We play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm forth, I can tear it down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down.
There it is. Family, thank you all for joining us. OBS tried to get us. I had just noticed it and corrected it. So, yeah, you should hear us now, Gray. I had it just struck me as I was doing it. Yeah, thank you all for joining us tonight. Obviously, we have some major topics to cover. One being the Project Helix, the official project name for next gen's Xbox hybrid console. We'll be talking about PlayStation pulling back single-player exclusivity from PC, and Resident Evil 9, as much as we can without spoiling anything, or at least I will cover it a bit and talk about the success it's had so far. And, of course, we're joined here by a great guest tonight. We're here with my brother Kay Asante of the Gaming Circle podcast. Kay, thank you for joining us tonight, brother. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. I am happy to be here, man. Whenever the great Infinite Umbra calls me, even though I have to weed through the Unreal Engine, I'm still here. I'm happy to be here.
You mean you have to be blessed to go through the Unreal?
No, I have to skip through the compilation stutters and all that. I'm still here. That's good.
See.
Appreciate you.
I see. Well,
Let's go.
Listen, lumen shine down upon you. May lumen. I'm going to start using them.
After stutters for about 30 minutes. It's all good.
Shine down on me in that 30% performance tank that it causes.
Ooh.
I'm going to be like, may lumen shine upon you. Let me make sure my volume was correct.
Listen, man, if they can get that technology to not eat all of the processing power of like your CPU and GPU, then like I'm all for it. But they can't yet.
Yeah.
Because it looks phenomenal. It just doesn't perform. It's not performant.
Am I coming through clear, nerds? Thanks for letting me know, by the way. So
on our side, you sound good.
Yeah, I think it may have been that I was aimed away from the mic a little bit, maybe. That may have been the case. But yeah, man. Yeah, thanks, Kay, for coming through. Of course, I'm joined here. Yeah, thanks, nerds. Appreciate it. Joined here, of course, by my co-host, Crusader. Crusader, what's up with you, man? How have you been?
I'm all right. My mouth hurts. I had
Pause.
put in today.
You got to explain that. You can't leave that open-ended like
Yeah,
that.
I had fillings put in today, so if I'm a little low energy, that's why.
All right. So we're going to do a little housekeeping here. We'll start with our great guest, Kay. Tell the good folks what you've been up to, brother. What have you been playing, watching, tinkering with, knowing you, etc.?
Yeah. So what have I been playing? Oddly enough, I've been playing a bunch of little things as of late. One that I can't talk about. I will just say, Xbox fans, y'all gonna enjoy yourselves eventually. This pixelated wonder will blow you back when it comes out eventually. There's that for those who know. So I can't talk about that one, but I will talk about, like, obviously we've been talking about the Steam demo, the Next Fest that came out, that a lot of great games that were coming out. So I've been playing a bunch of crazy demos, stuff like Eternal Life of Goldman. I jumped back into the playlist, into the playtest of Into the Unwell. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
That is amazing. I've loved that game. I actually started playing a game. I've been playing it for a little bit called Lost Castle 2, which is really, really awesome. It's basically Castle Crashers, 4-player Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
Pretty damn awesome. And they have like this really chibi style big heads, small bodies, but it gets really, really intricate and awesome powers that you eventually get. And then the last thing I've been playing, I actually started it. What was it? Started it a day or two ago, which I can talk about because it's officially now launched, which is Planet of Lana 2, which I've been jumping into.
Yes, sir. I had just downloaded that, by the way. I didn't get a chance to jump into it like I wanted. But I love the first game, so I'm pretty sure I'll love the second.
Great puzzles, man. Great
Yeah,
puzzle.
for
Great
sure.
puzzles, life, like, you know, the graphics. You know what it is. If you play the first one, it's more of the same, but it's fantastic.
It's got a nice charm to it too, right? You got yourself and little
yeah.
what's his name, Mio, the little black little cat thing.
Mhm,
It's got a lot of good charm. I was going to say, so for whatever reason, I forgot to download the Eternal Life of Goldman to play that, but what I have here on the screen is a bit of that. Like these different Steam Fest games. It's like got a compilation of it, but I forgot to get that.
What is this Star Fox like game?
Yeah, yeah.
Now on my screen, because it looks good.
It's pretty cool.
Never seen or heard of it before.
This is let me make sure I get the name right. It's Wild. Hold on, let me look it up really quick.
This looks fire.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It definitely calls back to the Star Fox for sure. It is.
Reminds me of the Aphelion levels in Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction when you're flying the ship on rails, doing the pirate fights.
Let me come back to this because I forgot the name of this right now.
That's fun.
Yeah, but no, this, I deleted the demos after the fact. But no, it's another game that's similar to this. That's another pastiche, if you will, of Star Fox. I actually bought that one, and I will buy this one once it releases. But this is pretty cool. I like this one. It's pretty cool. Nice little charm. I expected to hear some of that Star Fox talk when it double. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, you mean Wild Blue Skies?
Wild
right?
Blue Sky. That's it. Thank you. Wild Blue Skies.
Wild Blue Skies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Do a barrel roll.
Put that on the wish list.
Yeah, definitely add this to the wish list. What's up, Flood? By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you all. I see you, Flood. I see you, Stilo. I see you, nerds. Obviously, Gray, our
the GCP fam.
yes, indeed, Gray, our mod, and anyone else that may be lurking. Thank you all for coming through. I think everybody's live tonight too. I think it's drawing some people away. But what with the Life of Goldman? What's up? Why so serious? What was your takeaway from that game? What would you compare that game to, the Life of Goldman, if you had to compare it to something?
So, from a graphical perspective, and honestly, I tend to want to shy away from doing graphical comparisons because I feel it cheapens the game. But I will do it because I feel it in this case it might not be as bad. Those who've played No Rest for the Wicked, if you played No Rest for the Wicked to a point where you were like, okay, I'll wait till this thing turns 1.0. Now, just so you know, the game is still in early access, No Rest for the Wicked, and it made 1.5. It sold 1.5 million copies, and I believe it's solely on the back of those damn graphics, like the way that game looks, the parallax effects, the like at any moment's notice you can like stop, and the world is so busy. There's so much animation on display. It's like the budget went all to animation. Life of Goldman is the same way. So beautifully rendered.
So I got a chance to see you play a bit of it, and I saw like the animations and such going on. It looks magnificent.
Man,
yeah, it's really nice.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. And then of course the gameplay elements of it reminds me more of, let's see, I go DuckTales, but I'm a graybeard. For the youngins in the room, it's probably more like what do you call it? Shovel Knight, right? So you're pogo bouncing off of enemy heads, right? But there's a lot of puzzles going on in the world, and you're Goldman, right? And you walk around with like a walking stick, and the mechanic is you're bouncing off of people with the walking stick, but that walking stick as you traverse the world, you discover more pieces and components that then make that walking stick stronger and get more power. So you start off just being able to bounce basic, but at some point you have a powerful enough walking stick where you can jump to higher ledges. You can do more interesting things. You can use the hook that you hold your hand on with a walking stick.
Yeah.
You can use it to hook onto things and climb higher. Such interesting, innovative like thoughts on how to make this small idea just like go to the farthest extent.
Yeah.
And graphically it is, oh my God, it is something else.
Yeah, the art style.
I guarantee when that game comes out, it will be in some people's games of the year.
I think
it is
so.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the art style is really, really great from what I've seen. By the way, I did love No Rest for the Wicked, but I couldn't keep doing the old early access thing. I was like, I need the game to release.
Sure. You needed the beginning, middle, and end. Yes.
exactly.
Eventually I had to put it down because I need the bit middle and end as well. But but to that point, No Rest for the Wicked, the only other game that I would compare graphically to this game, as far as the 2D art drawn, hand drawn animation style, the parallaxing, I would say it's the lineage that Ori and the Will of the Wisp and the Blind Forest started, and these guys are like taking it and moving strong with it. Obviously, with Moon Studios doing Ori first, this taps into that vein as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see that for sure. What's up, Spider? Gray asked, did any of you guys see the IGN Forza Horizon 6 footage? He said, "Holy F, May can't come quick enough for me."
Okay. I don't care. Listen, Forza is such a cool game for the people who really like it. I'm not those people.
Not a big racing
I have
fan.
nothing against it. I'm just not a racing game kind of guy. I think the only one I've ever truly loved was a game called Looney Tunes Space Race for the PS2 and Dreamcast.
Oh wow. So,
I played my first round of Mario Kart ever in the last 8 months. So
yeah, it's not
that
your forte.
should tell you some things.
That's not your forte.
It is not my forte.
Gray Monad, could you make sure to mod slow-mo backslap right there? He's providing slander already in the chat. He says evening, or let me speak in Umbra's language. Z as if I'm asleep. Yeah.
Someone mocked me too.
Yeah, just gotta.
I've not been I just noticed I'm not either.
Yeah, go ahead and mod him up for that. Fuzzy Tomato, what's up? I gotta mod you, Crusader. Shout out to Slow-Mo, who will be facing a trial soon for his for his love of PlayStation. He's being brought up on charges. Yeah. He's being brought up on charges.
Don't do that to him on 4K.
His charges.
What are you doing, man?
His trial goes live tomorrow. It's a hearing for him tomorrow. Yes. And I have some things to add to that case. Some telemetry, as we say. The game on the screen, for those that might be wondering, by the way, which was part of the Steam Fest demos, is 1348XEX to spell it out. Voto, VOTO. This is nice. It gives you a bit of that Plague Tale kind of feel to it, and the combat it's pretty cool. It's a little double leg game, but it's pretty dope.
Is there an annoying child that you want to smack at any moment's notice?
No little Milo or Milo or whatever to run around with or whatever. Him calling you, Amicia. Yeah, none of that. So fortunately, you're solo.
As a parent, I felt very bad playing that game because I wanted to kill that kid.
Some games it's rare to find a game where you have to lead a kid or some other person around where you don't want to harm them. I've noticed that. Flood called him Pony Mo. Anyway, besides those demos, Kay, what else have you been up to? I know you got your show coming up Saturday as well.
Let's see. What else have I been doing? Well, I literally one day I decided to start Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Nice.
I crushed it in a total binge because to me, and this is bold words, I know, hyperbole by some possibly. To me, this is the Rogue One of the Game of Thrones universe, and I love Rogue One. Rogue One is one of my favorite Star Wars movies ever.
Rogue One is a classic.
Yeah. I loved Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, and if you know Rogue One, you know why I say that. They literally take all the tropes and all the Star Wars things that you love about Star Wars, and they throw it in the garbage. They don't give you any of that. No lightsabers, none of that. But you still somehow find real love for the characters and the world and all that. And I feel like similarly, a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I keep saying seven, but
You know,
that's a spoiler.
in that vein,
That also does
I
the
can
same.
agree. In that vein, I can agree. It definitely kind of turns it on its head. It's more grounded
Yeah.
compared to the
Yes.
other ones.
Yes.
Um,
And it's bold because you
It
know where
is.
it could go and you know what people want, and it gave
Mhm.
you none of that. It was still excellent. It was excellent.
yeah,
I really loved it.
it gives you enough too of a little intrigue of like,
Mm-hmm.
so wait, you
Yep.
can, because this kid apparently, can you do this? Or, and this boy talked about the future, it seemed, I don't know. But they did,
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away. It just seemed like there could be something of that. And it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for Game of Thrones to have some type of mysticism in it, so, you know. But I will say
think
I
you-
did
you would
enjoy
agree.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd agree that if you like Game of Thrones at all, especially the original Game of Thrones, you need to like seek this out. This is excellent. Like it is excellent. I was so impressed. I
Yep.
wasn't expecting much after what we see because there's a lot of history there, right? There's just a lot of history there.
Mhm.
So I expected them to tread on Game of Thrones ground, and the only time I ever heard them tread on it was like harkening back to that early theme song once in the show, and that was it. Besides that, Easter eggs here and there. You hear the certain terms you remember, Davos and the like. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that. All that. But the story itself, the characters, you never heard of any of them, and by the end, you love each and every one of them
Yeah.
equally. It was great. It was
For
great.
sure.
Really well done.
It's a very short little season too. Well,
Mhm.
6 episodes. So
You can binge it quick. It's really good.
yeah, they're not long. They're like 35 minutes mostly, 40 minutes maybe at most.
Mm.
So you all can get
Yeah.
through them in a single, like 4 hours or so, whatever it may be. Honestly, and
Started washing dishes at like 9 o'clock. 2 a.m. I was done.
yeah, yeah, and that was
Yeah.
probably in between you playing a game or something in between that.
Yeah.
Definitely enjoyed that. You all should check that out if you get a chance, and maybe we can talk about it more in detail some other time in the future. But moving to Crusader, my brother, what have you been up to? What have you been playing and watching or etc. If you have been?
I have been exclusively playing Pokemon Leaf Green on my Switch too.
How are you
And I
enjoying
have
it?
been having an absolute blast.
Yeah.
There's nothing like the 2D era of Pokemon. Like, from the Game Boy through to the end of the DS era. They're just spectacular games.
I think I can agree with that. The last Pokemon I
and-
played through, I think, was on a Game Boy Color.
Leaf Green was my first Pokemon game, and so I'm playing it again. It's like 50 megabytes at most. It might even be less than that. It's straight up the ROM with a couple of changes. It's gonna support Pokemon Home. It does not yet, which is Pokemon Home is like the transfer your Pokemon between Pokemon games feature. It can be between like entirely different generations and stuff like that. But like they fixed some like long-standing bugs, and they added in a bunch of what used to be like very very rare event Pokemon that are now just like they're just naturally in the game that you can just go catch them instead of having to either use a cheat device to trigger the event, or what you used to have to do back in the day is like go to a GameStop or a Pokemon store and like connect your Game Boy to their like wireless system using the adapter, and if they were running the event, do the event. So like really cool stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nice. That's a nice throwback. I mean, obviously, you wanted to cover some stuff on Pokemon tonight as
Yeah.
well.
I did just a little bit.
Yeah, I'll play the trailer and incur the wrath of Nintendo and see if they actually take it down. We'll see.
Mute the audio.
I'm going. Oh, that's not even a question. Yeah, maybe they might let us survive. We'll see. Yeah,
But that's about all I've been doing.
That's about it?
Other than that, I've had a lot of real life crap, getting my car inspected, new brakes, crap like that.
Okay.
But otherwise, I have just been relaxing in my evenings and playing on my Switch 2 in bed, and it really makes me want every Pokemon game ever released to be re-released on the Switch 2.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I haven't. I got the newest. Well, not the newest. What is that Pokemon game I have? It's one of the more modern ones, but I played like two
Sword and
seconds
Shield,
of it.
Scarlet and Violet,
It might be that
or
one.
Legends Arceus, Legends ZA.
I forgot. I think it's the one
Okay.
before ZA.
Okay, that would have been Scarlet and Violet.
I might have that one. Yeah, I played like 2 seconds of it and I was like, okay, that's enough. So I don't know. I don't think Pokemon is for me. I need to get that Metroid rather, Prime for Switch 2. I haven't touched my Switch 2 actually in a while since Pokemon. I mean, I almost say Pokemon since Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, yeah, that and the PlayStation are just sitting there like, help me. Yeah,
I haven't turned my PlayStation on since last April.
yeah, it's been a minute, man. But yeah, as for myself, of course, these Steam Fest games, the Wild Blue Skies, this right here, 1348X Photo, and a bunch of other games you all will see playing after this. And I played through Yakuza Kiwami 3, and I beat the main story for that. And I'm doing a little side story with the other character that you get in Dark Tides, Mine. And I started up on Resident Evil 9. And I have to say, you know, I love me some Unreal Engine. Y'all know that. You know how I feel about it. But man, that RE engine looks crazy good in RE9 in Requiem. It's like impressive as hell. The
Is
city.
that blasphemy I hear from you?
Hey, listen. You gotta call things for what they are. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta say what it is. I pulled up into it and you step out into the world. It felt like I was in Chicago, by the way, when you first started up. And yes, Kay, I know everything. It feels like Chicago.
I didn't say nothing. Go ahead, keep going.
But you start under this L system, and it could be New York too, but it gives me Chicago vibes. It's rainy. You're walking with I forgot her name, the main character. And she, you're walking with her, and it's just rainy, and it's coming down out there, and people walking around with their trench coats and umbrellas, and you can see all these reflections, and I got the ray tracing on. All right, why so serious? Let's not get too crazy now. He said RE engine better, greater than UE5. What's up, Noisy FOMO? Let's not get too crazy. What's up, Newscast? But no, it is phenomenal the way that game look. And it's creepy as all hell, too, mind you. I had not played RE7 and 8, so this is my first time playing it where I'm in a first-person perspective like this with her. And it's uncomfortable because she's like, just scared. And
Then you shouldn't play 7. This, as I understand it, this is a taste of 7. 7 is really that. 7 is really that. And you spend most of your game, as a person who's played that in VR, mind you.
Oh, shit.
7, you spend most of your time on the back foot running for your life.
Yep.
I'm not doing it. Not in the VR, I won't. So yeah, listen.
I did that in VR. It cured me of Resident Evil games for a while. It was wild.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I turned the game on and played it while it was light outside. I'm like, I know what to do for you, game.
That's right.
Not playing you in the darkness. You think I'm crazy? But I will say it has great sound design to this game. Like I noticed, like the rain sounds. Even once you enter a building, you can hear it. You hear the floor creaking, and you stepping through puddles or whatever. It just sounds really good. It looks damn good. I'm impressed, honestly. Fuzzy Tomato say there's a lot of survival horror elements in visiting Chicago. Listen,
I was checking out that, waiting for you to see it.
my beautiful city has no horror elements. I'll have you know, Fuzzy. Yeah, let's move to this news roundup though.
Danny's not here, so I guess I have to.
Yes, there you go. Team player.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of lightning round through it because I know we're gonna try and get out in 2 hours instead of 3 hours for once.
Yep.
We got teases for Doom the Dark Age DLC. They're saying that it's gonna be big. It sounds like it's gonna be Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2 as one thing, like in size.
Very nice.
Which is great. I'm excited for that. I will be 100. I will 100% be picking that up and playing that.
Yeah, same here. I actually loved. I think I'm one of the rare people who really loved the newer Doom. Like some people will love Doom Eternal, and
Eternal, yep.
yeah, and I
Dark
do love
Ages was my favorite.
the rebooted first one. Obviously, that will
Mhm.
probably be my first one. But I think the Doom here, the Dark Ages, I think is my second favorite in the series so far.
It's my.
So I have to
favorite
ask
of
a
the three
question.
new ones. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to ask a question. So,
Yeah.
and I played the Dark Ages. I didn't finish it
Mhm.
because I felt like it was a bit on rails in certain instances, but I did enjoy myself and I will go back to it.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, Doom as a franchise has been such a popular franchise. I love the remakes. I love them. They're really, really good. But it feels like this version, this last one, where they literally seemingly threw the kitchen sink at it, it didn't get as much fanfare. It didn't get as much love.
Yeah.
And like you guys are saying, a
Pretty
lot
sure
of
it's 'cause
people
they-
individually. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They didn't market it. That was a big problem with
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So it's the marketing that did it, because a lot of
yes.
folks talk about so highly about this game and how much they loved it, and I can see that. But even Eternal got more shine than this did, and lots of people like this better. I just don't get it. I was wondering if it's the Xbox tax that people talk about or
So,
what.
I think it's the Xbox tax, but not like the not reviewers taxing it. I think it's literally Xbox did not invest enough in its marketing last year in general.
I
or
agree
anything.
with that. Yeah.
Because this was not an isolated case. I believe it also happened to both Avowed and Outer Worlds 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not
I
blame.
won't deny that. Yeah.
Like genuinely, they just did not have advertising out for those games, and it's one of the things. They're hiring new marketing people. It was another thing in here. I'll just throw it in here. They have open marketing positions open at Microsoft, which is a first for like a few years because. After the last marketing people left in 2024, they didn't really fill those positions. Everything just kind of fell straight under Sarah Bond. So I think they are now filling those positions, or recreating those positions.
Well, I know
And I
they
think
got
that's
those.
something they need.
I know they're hiring for these 2 new positions for marketing in general. So maybe that will help. But you're right.
Yeah.
They didn't really market this well. And to me, it feels sad because the game is genuinely great, in my opinion. Like, really enjoyed it.
To be fair, and this is not actually being fair to Microsoft. To be fair, Microsoft's never been good at marketing. Ever. For their gaming division for Xbox. So not really shocked that there wasn't good marketing, but like I think that was one of the big things was that it was not that people just didn't it came and went because there wasn't a spectacle made about it by the publisher.
I wonder if it underperformed or anything like that for them. I wonder.
I have no idea. We don't get data from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I will say
Considering
I
it was in Game Pass, it might have.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Doom, by the way, there was a crossover. I don't know if you all had saw it, but there was
that was announced today. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a crossover announced today with Diablo 4. Yeah.
Which makes sense, man. Like you're going in and absolutely slaughtering demons in Diablo. What better thing to have crossover skin wise than Doomslayer?
Yeah. What's
Actually,
up, Soil Tech?
I would say the only second would probably be Halo Infinite, their multiplayer.
Like Halo Infinite and Doom. Yeah, I don't see.
Yeah.
I could see that happening with the next Halo.
Skins. Yeah.
For sure. I don't see them adding new skins to Infinite at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this late in the game, maybe not. But you never know. But
God of War first look.
Yes.
Looks bad. It looked bad. I thought it was AI, and then I found out it was real and posted by Amazon.
I thought it was AI
bad.
too. Yeah. So looking at it, I think the biggest issue is his scrappy beard. I think we can all agree it looks terrible. And
I think Atreus looks far worse than him.
You think Atreus? I mean, he's a young kid. He's going to grow into it more. But him as Kratos, for one, we already had this talk where he's very clearly a Norse, like his ancestry does not tie back to the Greek. It ties more likely to Norse. And like he has the stature. The dude is 6'6", I believe, in real life. So he has the stature. He has some size to him, though it would have been nice for them to actually get him on a workout regimen like the MCU does with their actors and kind of get them in better shape. And he just doesn't look like Kratos in the face, like not what we've become accustomed to. And that beard, that scraggly little beard they gave him, it looks glued on. It doesn't look legit. And I don't know why it felt like they put so little love into what we're seeing. To be fair, it is just one image. Once they add all the little movie magic or TV show magic, it might look way better. But I did not get that feeling initially, and many people, including diehard PlayStation fans, didn't get that feeling. What was your thoughts, Kay? What did you feel about that? The first look at new Kratos.
Bro, it was not the look. It was not the look. We've already had some little side eyes here and there when it comes to what they're announcing. I'll be honest, the characters that they have put actors to, for the most part, I have loved each and every one. Right, they've done a great job picking the right characters for the job. But I think I'm with Crusader here. Both Atreus and Kratos, I think they may have made wrong choices there. Atreus is too young and goofy looking in the face, and obviously we know what this man looks like with his fake stuck on beard and his dad bod. You know, you and I speculated before we knew the actors that would be playing these parts that there were better actors in the mix. I think I still stand with what you thought initially that was better, because I think he would have done a better job.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we're not going to watch it. You know, I'm a fan. You know, I love the games as well, so I will watch it. I just feel like they had an opportunity with this one to basically set a new actor on a path where you don't know who he is, so you can really, really like hone in on who he's playing and just be who he's playing. Whereas in this instance, obviously, the gentleman playing this role he's been in Sons of Anarchy. He's been in a few other places that I've seen him, and clearly he just from the visual perspective, and I look forward to hearing his voice, but I don't see it. Right? I think it'll be good in spite of him, but I don't see it. I just don't. Yeah. I don't see how he connects. Like, you know, I can't see. I mean, I think he did a great job playing Thor, right? But you know, I'm sure they hired him to play Thor for a reason. Not to say that I wanted the original actor of God of War to come back to do the voice acting, because he's definitely past his prime. But
yeah,
there are other actors and maybe unknown entities that could have kind of elevated the material. This is just a side eye from me, but at the end of the day, I'll still be watching. It's like the Sophie Turner images. I thought the same exact
boy, that's
you know what I mean?
We could have discussed that too, because she did not get good feedback
Same
for that
damn thing.
either. Yeah,
exactly.
So
Same thing. Doesn't mean I ain't watching it, but you know.
So just to show you all, I mean, I guess let me see something if I can pull this up.
What are we showing on? What are we putting on?
Let me hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay. So this is who we're talking about here. This is Ricky Whittle, and if you all have seen American Gods, which was excellent, mind you, he's the main character in it. Just look at the profile right there. This for whatever reason, I don't have it set up right where it's cutting off the right side of his face, but you can see enough to see what he looks like. Man, he looks very much more like Kratos that we've become accustomed to. He has the nose, he has the jawline structures, the head shape is right, proportionate to it, and he's in pretty good shape.
There's a video, there's a picture elsewhere where his beard is longer, and you're like, yes, that's the man. He can do it. He has the look. He does.
He definitely has the look. Let me see if I can find any other ones.
I saw one some time ago for him. Yeah.
This is he was clearly younger here, but he's trying to flex there, I guess.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find some other ones. It's crazy what youth does. Like, look how young he is here. That's how his face looks so different compared to how he looks like here or something like that. But yeah, he, in my opinion, would have been. Oh, look at that! Look at that. He looks like he's ready for Kratos right there. Look at him.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
He looks so hilarious with hair like this, but yeah. So he has this kind of exotic kind of look to him. that I think, oh, look at that with the eyebrow up. Yeah, he looks. This I guess is the only one I
Yeah.
can find with a beard that's more grown, but
Mm-hmm.
he looks closer to what we would think Kratos looks like. Now this is not
Yeah.
to say that it had to be him. I'm sure there are some unknown actors that probably look closer to Kratos as well.
Yeah.
Stature wise, I believe Widow here is like 6'2", so he's not a small guy. But obviously Ryan Hurst is what 6'6", so I do understand that if that was their, their point of contention, like he has the stature, I get it. But yeah, I just as we talked about, like to exhaustion, it's just a weird kind of look to Ryan Hurst compared to what we expected, I would say. But yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? What did you all feel about that? Somebody said AI pre-beta, the noisy FOMO. Soyotech says I'm an AI. Yes. Beep boop.
Oh.
Cool.
So you may not be able to show the audience, but I just literally typed in AI Ricky Whittle as Kratos.
Yeah.
And I posted the first one. Check it out.
Oh, let me see. Where did you put it at? Oh, let's see.
And in our direct chat right now, I have two of them.
Oh,
the second
wow.
one even better. Second one even better. Check that out.
Let's see.
And
Okay,
that is literally
yeah.
Ricky Whittle as Kratos.
Let me see
Even
if I
better.
can share
That man
this.
was perfect.
And it looks just like him. Let me see how I can pull
Perfect.
this up.
You know? Yes.
Perfect. Let's see.
Yep. Shout out to Gemini. He hooked me up.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The second one, oh my God. Perfect.
No, this. Okay, I gotta modify this a bit. Hold on. Patience with me, guys. Hold on 1 second.
But while you pull that up, I will say once again, doesn't mean it's terrible. Doesn't mean what I see is trash. It just means it's a little unfortunate.
It's
much
rough, yeah. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's. I think my hardest thing as a trace is the kid's hair. Like
yeah,
there's too
yeah.
much.
There he is.
yeah.
He doesn't look
Yeah.
like they don't look right. Like
Mhm.
like, and it could be a still. It could look better in motion. It could look better. It could look better with more post process, or
Mhm.
post production stuff. But like, it's just like I can't describe. It's just off.
That looks pretty
Yeah.
badass, I have to say.
Yeah. You see the one when he's face on? That's even better. Like it's just like, yes, that's the man. That's the man. Come on.
Yeah, that looks badass.
They could have done it.
Let me-
They could have done it.
Let me enlarge this because I didn't. There it is. Now you all can see the full. The AI did that fast. That's crazy.
All I typed in was Ricky Whittle as
Yeah.
Kratos. Bam, that's what we got.
Oh, AI. I, for one, welcome our AI overlords. Look how fast it did that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That looks crazy, and he looks spot on. Now, let me pull
Spot
up
on,
the
sir.
other image, and here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just as spot on. Like what? Come
Yeah.
on. You could have made him a little whiter because the ash and all that.
Put the ash
Still,
on him.
perfect.
Yep. But this is Kratos pre-ash, I guess.
That's right.
Pre-ash.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
this
good.
looks dope.
Good. It's
Yeah,
good.
man,
it
he looks
really is.
he looks right. Also, notice they got the beard right versus how
Mhm.
how the show did it so far. But yeah, I mean, we'll give them leeway. We know that it's it's not indicative of how it could look in action. We'll see. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, what else did we have, Crusader?
All right, so we'll cover the one other God of War thing real quick, which was that Cory Balrog's game was essentially basically everyone is saying that it is a spin-off game closer to Devil May Cry, like older God of War in style, hack and slash. The main character is going to be Faye, who was who spoilers for God of War. Do we care at this point? Came out in like 2020. Faye was his wife. The giantess Lao Faye.
Yeah.
So could be cool. I was kind of hoping that the old rumors that Cory Balrog was working on a sci-fi game was going to be real, because I feel like there are a lack of good sci-fi games in the industry. But I'm down for more old Xbox 360, PS3 era hack and slash games in my life, because like the only one that's like still standing is Devil May Cry.
Yeah, I'm with you
And I
on
guess
that.
Bayonetta.
Yeah, well,
but
they
we got,
haven't
like,
had
one
any
Bayonetta
modern
Blue
ones, to be fair. But no, I'm with you on that. I get you. I will say, Faye seems like an interesting choice. For me, if you're going to go that route, I would just wonder why, when we know her fate, it seems like, unless they're going to try to bring her back somehow.
Prequel.
Yeah, I guess it's
Do a
just a
prequel
prequel.
series.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, she's a badass if you look at the things she actually did. So,
well, the actress who played her is or who did the stuff for her is awesome. I can't think of her name right now, but she's Karen Page in Daredevil.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's right. It is her, isn't
Of
it?
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's also like a turbo like D&D nerd, DM. She makes custom campaigns and sells them like on the side
Does she?
That's
from
cool.
her acting career.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
there's a great
is
video
cool.
of her explaining D&D to John Barenthal.
Oh, I saw that one.
And
Yeah.
it's incredible. So like, I have no doubt that like at least her acting as the character in the game will be great. You have to
Yeah.
remember the Leviathan axe was hers,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
So
right.
like that'll be cool.
Yeah. Deborah Ann Wool. That's right, Flood.
Yeah, that's her name.
Look, he knows.
So my question
he
is,
knows the snow bunnies
with
now.
all these amazing actresses and actors that created these characters, why not make them in the show? Like why not?
So did we get did we get a person confirmed to be playing Faye in the show?
Not yet.
Yeah, I have to assume that if they do her, because she is actually like not just a voice actress but also like an actual. I have to assume that they will have her play her.
They may as well, right?
In the show, because like a lot of the like not all the characters are like actually done by like TV film actors and actresses. But hers is. It's directly her likeness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, directly her likeness. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It would be like not having Keanu Reeves play John Wick in the John Wick game. We know he is, you know, like.
Like, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I'm thinking I'm back. All right, let's scroll through here. HBO Max and Paramount Plus are going to be combined into one service.
Oh man.
Under the new Paramount deal, if it goes through, they're claiming 15 films per year, with 45-day theatrical releases, and they're also going to be like 1.15 Activision Blizzard's in debt. It's like $79 billion or something like that.
Yeah, astronomical.
And they're planning $6 billion in cost-cutting synergies, which means layoffs and cancellations of stuff. So, you know, it's not going to be great.
I expect some closures. What would you say, Kay? I'm worried about their gaming and comics division, but mostly the gaming division, I would say.
So, yeah,
Yep,
the
you're
gaming
not
division's
wrong.
rough. The gaming division will be rough. Though they're supposed to start having like output like next year and the following year, so they might be okay for a little while at least.
There have been conversations recently where they came out and they're talking about their future plans, and the word gaming is not mentioned once, and people are just like, ooh, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, neither Netflix nor Paramount actually stated anything about like they were like the gaming thing is like an afterthought in the
Yeah.
Truly it is. Like when you look at those books, truly it is an afterthought.
True.
It would be nuts if they considered it to be anything. But Skydance does have that kind of like wild gaming thing. So I could see them like taking WB Games and merging it like under like
aren't they making that game coming out soon
they're
with
making
Amy
two.
Hennig?
Amy Hennig is making two games.
Yeah.
The first one is
Oh,
the it's like Black Panther and
game.
Captain America
Captain
and
America.
the what are they called? Like Captain America's crew from World War II
The,
fighting Hydra and Nazis.
what do they
Like
call them?
that's
The
be a winning thing right there. And it looked good from like the little bit of like in-engine
Yep.
visuals we got
They
for
did
it. It's
a
supposed to be out this
they did a
year.
video. They did a video about it where they had the actors come out and they did a whole Unreal Engine kind of a splash, like
Yeah.
showed a bunch of stuff. That you can see the videos online.
Um,
But I guess Crusader, what I would say to that is like if I hear you on the fact that neither of them are really fans or in the big business of gaming, but at least Netflix has flirted with it and kind of understands it and
oh,
kind of
sure, but they
understand
both
the
literally
need.
were like, "This is an
You know,
afterthought. We'll deal with it when we
yeah.
get through it."
Sure.
Um,
I would feel like at least Netflix might take some a little bit more deference with that because they know what it's about.
oh, I
Whereas,
don't disagree.
I don't know,
I,
man.
I don't
Hold on, I'm
disagree.
scared about. You know.
I don't disagree. I just think it's a little bit soon to rush in, especially since they have projects that are supposed to be coming out in the next like 2 years, like next year and the year after is when they said that their projects are going to start releasing.
My question would
Okay.
be is how far does this go for regulation, right? Because now the speculation is, which it should be rightfully so, is how would this not qualify as a monopolization? And you look at all the stuff they're gaining here, especially in the media, it is crazy. It is
I mean,
way
bro,
too much.
these guys are buying more than they actually own. Like they're buying
Yeah.
more than the company they have actually is worth.
Right.
It is the most wildest deal to allow to go for. I have no
For
idea
sure.
how this is going to.
And it's like 7
America will
times
pass
more.
it because that's the world we live in today. America will pass it, but will other regulatory bodies? I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
This guy is
It's hard
buddies
to
with the
say.
Trump administration, the Ellison family,
There's
so it's
things
possible.
that would matter in the U.S. that won't matter globally too. So like
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the UK and the EU ain't gonna care about them owning like CNN and things like that. There's
No.
They do not
No.
care. It's not relevant to them. They don't. They're not. They're not like. They don't operate over there. Not truly.
Yeah, that's what we care about. They care about a different network. There are other networks that they control.
Yeah, exactly.
That would lead to them basically firing or consolidating or whatever. So that may be their prep project.
Yeah. Yeah, like for overseas, it's literally going to be about the content that they own and the service that would be merged. That's the big thing there.
Yeah. I don't
Speaking
think
of
I don't really
closures-
expect it to face too much regulatory issues here, again because of their ties to the administration currently. But we'll see. This was my worst worry, though. I didn't want the Ellisons to get this. I would have hoped for Netflix to get it. Which, by the way, Netflix got their payout for their time, and they secured a AI startup company, not startup, but an AI team that Ben Affleck co-founded, which will help directors and filmmakers and such with AI tools. So there is that.
All I will say is somebody protect Ed Boon. Somebody check on Ed Boon. Hope Ed is fine.
For
keep
sure.
Ed strong.
Yeah.
We need to keep Ed good.
I mean,
Ed
listen,
in Mortal Kombat. Let's go.
Even if like it would be a nightmare if Ed Boon, if they closed NetherRealms and Ed Boon was gone. But Ed Boon is one of the very few people in this industry that will I guarantee you, if he decides he wants to continue making gaming after the games after that,
fine,
he will have a
He is
job.
fine.
Most of NetherRealm will. So, someone
He is
will.
fine.
Some company
That's
will,
right.
like PlayStation or Xbox. Someone will be like, yeah, we're gonna form the fighting studio under us with them. Like, they have the greatest job security on the planet. It will just be a scary couple hours.
All we need to hear
right,
is that
like-
Ed has lost his job and Ed has lost access to Mortal Kombat. I'd say less than 24 hours later, he'd probably he'd have rights to Killer Instinct. Probably.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
He'd have rights to Killer Instinct or like someone. Who was people who made Soul Calibur?
That's Namco.
Is that Bandai?
Yeah.
Namco.
Yeah.
Namco, yeah.
I'm like Bandai could be like, yeah, well, let's grab him. Like they have that. A lot of the people at that studio truly have like they don't have job security, but they have like the closest thing to the concept
Fighting
of
game
job
security?
Yeah,
Fighting
like
game security?
someone will like that's like how like everyone freaked out when Tango was being closed and then like Krafton rushed to like grab that studio and reopen them. Yeah, if that was ever gonna happen to another studio on Earth, that's gonna happen to another studio.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But see, Ed has spoken about Ed has spoken about Killer Instinct recently.
yeah,
He did,
People are
yeah.
super excited that he potentially will touch that IP. I think he'd be all right. Although we as a community would be very sad to see him separated from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
He needs to continue to stick with Mortal Kombat.
Did he also do like the not is it not Infamous,
Injustice?
Injustice. Did he lead
Yes,
those games?
yes.
I know they were
Yes.
they were NetherRealm, but I didn't know if he was okay.
Yeah, he did those as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more of these, and then we'll get on to our main topics. BioShock game, immersive sim, compared to like Prey and like Dishonored, RPG light systems, dense interconnected city. Sounds cool. Like, I'll play it. I'll play basically any FPS you put in front of me.
Yeah. Is it what you said it's going to be in a what type of styling is it?
RPG light immersive sim. So immersive sims are like Prey and Dishonored.
That's interesting.
So
And this is specifically BioShock?
yeah, the next one, BioShock 4.
Okay.
And to be fair, the BioShock games always have been to a degree immersive sim games.
Yeah.
Just not like, not nearly as crazy as the games that they were kind of like a predecessor, like System Shock. So, but yeah, like BioShock information, that's always cool. Pokemon Presents was cool. If anyone watched that, Winds and Waves. I mean, I'm not gonna say Winds and Waves out here looks like the greatest game on the planet because it does not. But holy Nikes, is it a step up from what Game Freak has been doing with Pokemon prior?
I have it on the screen. You all. I'm being very brave because Nintendo may strike me down.
Yeah.
Like
and
Zeus.
like Gen 10 actually looks like it could be pretty cool. And I'm here for it. It is a Switch 2 exclusive. It will not be on Switch 1. Which is pretty big for the Pokemon company to move that quickly, because like the Pokemon is the largest single IP media franchise on the planet, and it's not close. Like the thing below it is like Hello Kitty.
That's crazy.
There's nothing that comes close to the amount of just money that Pokemon, between the card game, merchandising, and the video games, and the anime and movies, nothing comes close to what Pokemon makes.
Wait, are they outdoing like characters like Spider-Man and things like that, or Superman?
They don't. I don't think they outdo all of Marvel Comics or all of DC Comics. Single IP.
Yeah.
So they outdo all other single IPs. I actually don't think that Spider-Man is that high on that list.
Spider-Man was pretty high at a point. I think he was number 1.
It's popular, but
yeah, I'm talking about like even merchandising and all that. He was
truly
crazy.
But
Time
yeah, it was good.
changed,
Like
though.
I said,
that was years ago, so it may have shifted. But yeah.
Yeah, so the highest grossing media franchise, media brand.
That's
Pokemon at 115 billion.
Sheesh. What's
The
after that?
closest thing under that is Mickey Mouse and Friends
Yeah.
at 61 billion.
That is crazy. Okay, so
So
this is my
Winnie the
first time.
Pooh
seeing
is
it.
right under
And
that.
Nintendo is
at 50
associated with an
billion.
IP that's bigger than Disney. That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. Okay.
It's bigger than Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh put together.
Oh, brother.
I can't, like, that is how big Pokemon is, and that's why it's always so frustrating that like the lack of effort that went into the Switch games, like there's cool mechanical concepts that happened in the Switch games, like gameplay wise, they're cool, but like visually and performance, like they had bad performance with bad visuals.
Yeah.
But like you look at this, and this looks much better. This looks better in this trailer right here than like magnitudes better than the best look they ever could get Scarlet and Violet to get in a trailer.
I've got to say, it looks pretty good.
And like,
yeah.
one of the big things is like some of the Pokemon are giving off themselves emissive light, like the magma slug. I can't think of his name. Slugma. I can't think of its name. It actually itself it's a lava slug and it's actually glowing. That was one of the things that I noticed. And it used to like brighten up and not in like in the media. So like it's really cool to see it like doing that in the game. Like I'm really excited for this. I'll be picking this up day one, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I have not actually played Scarlet and Violet. I'm probably going to now on the Switch too. But like I'm a big Pokemon guy, and Pokopia, or I think that's how you say it. It's like Dragon Quest Builders meets whatchamacallit? What's the Dragon Quest Builders meets not Stardew Valley. What's the Switch game? Animal Crossing.
Huh.
Reviewing really well. It's like really well. One of the highest reviewed games of the year, and it sounds like it's gonna be really cool. Completely shocking because the first time they showed it off, I thought it looked bad and was going to fail, but like that shows what I know. I will be able to report back on that next week. I have one friend who we haven't heard from her today after she started playing, so I'm excited to hear about that.
She disappeared on you, huh?
Yeah, but so like I wasn't, and like the Fire Red and Leaf Green ports, fantastic. Port them more. I already said that earlier, but like truly, this Pokemon Presents was really exciting. Was not expecting that.
Okay. Cool. Again, I
anything
haven't
else?
played any Pokemon like that heavily to really discuss. I know if you and Danny were here talking about it, you all could go into
Yeah.
crazy detail. Me, it's been a minute, man. But I will say I like what I'm seeing right there. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Let me read
I
a few
don't
of
really
these.
got much else. Anything you wanted
Oh,
to
did you
cover
see
that I didn't talk about?
did you see the graphic for Planet of Lana 2? For those that don't know, Planet of Lana 2 is now live in Game Pass. The review scores have come in. Do you see that in the chat?
Oh yes, I do. Yeah, it has like an 84 on OpenCritic, 82 on Meta. I don't know which platform the 82 is a reference to.
I think it may have gone down. I think it's to 81 on Meta, and
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
80
know.
on Open now.
No, I'm looking at it right now on OpenCritic. It's 84.
84. Okay, no, never mind.
So
Then.
that's 54 reviews. It has an 84 right now.
Oh, nice, solid. I forgot what
So
the
yeah,
first game
like
had.
I need to finish the first game. I was playing it and I was really liking it, and then I think a Destiny expansion came out. I think we'll blame it on Bungie. We'll blame it on Bungie. And I stopped playing it, but it was a fun little puzzle indie game that reminded me of there's like a Inside Out, I think is what it's called, or is that right? Is Inside Out a movie?
Well, Inside Out, yeah.
Or
Inside,
is it just Inside? It might be just
Inside,
called
I think
Inside.
you're thinking of. Yeah, Inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the game it's very much in the style of Inside.
It kind of gives you that feel. I think Inside, obviously, I was talking to Stilo earlier, funny enough. Shout out to Stilo. I'm sure you're hearing lurking. He mentioned that. He said, is it like that? I said, no. But then I have to think about it. I'm like, well, it is kind of a side scroller.
It's a puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
In like Limbo and stuff like that. It's very much like that.
That's what he asked. Now, Limbo, in my opinion, Limbo and I see that K.
I'm gonna keep that one for myself.
Oh no.
Now Limbo and Inside are more like dark in tone, I guess. Maybe that's why I didn't feel that way.
Yeah. Tonally, they're totally different.
Yeah.
But like, I think like gameplay wise and how the game actually functions, very, very similar.
Yeah.
It's
Zach
like that.
Riley, what's up, brother? He said, shout
I
out
don't
to
have a genre
Slate
for
Aspire
it.
2, which currently has 217,932 players on Steam DB.
Yeah, that checks.
Crazy.
That checks. The first one's excellent.
Yeah, made all the money that first one.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and like the second one has more content in early access than the first one did at its final update. So
Yeah.
And how did I not know that was coming to Game Pass? That's kind of wild.
Slate
What?
Aspire?
So it's by you.
Oh.
Isn't that coming
what do
to
you
Game
mean it's
Pass?
on
Am I
Game
wrong
Pass?
in that?
No, but it's
I thought
not
it was
on
coming
Game
to Game
Pass.
Pass. Is it not?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I thought I heard
It's
that.
not
I'll look
on
it up. I thought I
console.
heard
It's
that.
not on either console at all, because it's early
Let's see.
access on Steam only.
Let's see. I'll take a look. But I thought I heard that. But anyway, it's awesome that it's out and it's making all the money again. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
The first one was put on Game Pass for a long time.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Slay the Spire 2 is only on Steam right now.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It is officially entering early access in March 5th, and it's currently
Yeah.
just there, and it won't be there for a little while. Understood.
It'll
Yep.
be put everywhere else eventually.
Yeah, it's expected to last at least 1 to 2 years before the full game releases.
Makes
In
sense.
Game Pass, in early access rather.
Yeah. I would imagine that partway through its early access, it'll probably come to the other things a little earlier. Because I think a couple of indies have done that. I mean, it has the content that it could justify launching anywhere. Like, it has more content, and it has like 2-player co-op,
Yeah.
which was announced like shortly before the early access launch. I have 2 friends. Friend of the podcast, Dotsris, is playing it right now with one of our friends in real life.
Well, hey, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, for Planet of Lana. So if you all didn't know, it's live now on Game Pass. Definitely jump into it. I downloaded it. I'll be jumping into it soon enough. What else did we have? I think it was one other thing that I did want to highlight. Let me make sure.
There was a couple other things, like there was the Forza stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
But I don't know.
Forza. If you all hadn't seen it, Forza had a 9-minute gameplay breakdown. Well, not breakdown, just a 9-minute playthrough of them driving through with the Celine, I think. The Celine.
Yeah, and they drove a little bit into the city, but they have the cars turned down or the traffic turned down, which they should not have done. I think that was a mistake. Because I think it would have been, because we haven't really had significant traffic in the Forza games before, because they haven't gone through a major city before, and I think that would have been a really cool thing to show off when you're doing a 9-minute deep dive. Like, even if it does get in the way of the car going fast, who cares? This is it's actually a cool, different thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
Other than the location.
There was some details.
Forza, it looked great.
Yeah, there were some details they dropped that this has 662 roads to cover. You have 74 areas to discover, maps and landmarks that you will discover at Hokobo, Ito, and Minamino, among other places. So yeah, it looks good. You could definitely tell we were not in Mexico anymore. It looks really cool. I can't wait to see more and just jump into it myself.
I got one last thing we can do before we go in, and it's the Assassin's Creed news. How did I miss the Assassin's Creed news?
Oh yeah.
We got details of the franchise. So they're planning smaller updates and more surprises for Shadows. Codename Hexe is unique, darker, narrative-driven Assassin's Creed experience. Invictus is their PvP multiplayer Assassin's Creed game. The Netflix live-action Assassin's Creed series is coming along well, and they released today a 60 FPS patch for Assassin's Creed Unity for PS5 and Xbox Series. Xbox Series already actually played at 60 FPS because of FPS boost, but now it plays at 60 FPS in 4K with the original physics for cloth and stuff like that. So it is actually the original vision of what they really wanted Assassin's Creed Unity to be prior to having to nerf the crap out of it and also fix all of the bugs that it was beset by when it launched originally.
Nice. So
it looks great.
It does look good. Unity still has some of the craziest looking interiors, by the way.
Yeah.
It looks super impressive. I am really excited by the way that they've actually fully confirmed the worst kept secret, obviously, with Black Flag being remade.
No, they didn't. They didn't confirm it.
Oh, they didn't? I thought they put out the artwork for it to show it.
They teased it.
Oh, well, that's good enough. that's confirmation as far as I'm concerned. It's resynced. It's called Assassin's Creed Black Flag
IGN
Resynced.
put a thing out saying they confirmed it, but they did not.
Yeah.
They
want plausible
said,
deniability in case they got to cancel that too, like they did some other games.
They said speculation sounded Assassin's Creed is not new, but it's worth repeating. Nothing is true. Everything's permitted. You know, the tagline of the franchise.
Oh boy.
Well, except in some case, some whispers have a little bit more wind in their sails. Keep your spyglasses on the horizon. So they confirmed it, but they did not say the words Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced, which is the leaked title for it.
Yeah, they were so
they did everything but that.
Tongue in cheek right there. You couldn't help.
Yeah.
But connect that. Listen, Black Flag is my favorite Assassin's Creed in the series, so I'm more than excited for that to come back with a remake.
One of the only ones I haven't played.
Oh, you'll love it, man.
I fell off in the boat era. I'm gonna be a 100%.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't care for it in naval battles. I get it. It was one other thing I was going to highlight, which, and then we'll move to the main topics. The Echoes of Inkrad, Bandai Namco. They announced a new RPG game today. If you all hadn't seen it,
I
it's
haven't
coming
seen the trailer
to.
yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I could pull it up. It's coming to Series X and S, PS5, and Steam July 10th of this year. Matter of fact, why don't I pull it up to just show you all? 'Cause
Yeah,
you all
put it up on
likely
the screen
haven't
so
seen it.
I want to see it.
Let me see here.
Um,
Have
'cause
you seen this, Kay?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Echoes of Inkrad Sword Art, huh?
Yeah.
Is that Sword
oh,
Art Online?
is a Sword Art Online game?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's Sword Art Online game. It says Echoes of Inkrad Sword Art Online. Yeah,
Oh,
interesting.
I'm gonna need to talk to someone at Bandai Namco though, because where is our next Tales of game?
I had no idea this was a sword art rather.
I also
connected to
didn't.
You see, he saw Unreal and went, "I'll take it."
that.
Didn't even know where it came.
Quite literally. I'm like, that's all I need. Say no more.
So what is
It
it a
does look
Bandai
good, though,
Namco?
graphically. Hmm?
Like, is it a Bandai Namco action RPG? Is that just like what it looks like? Because I still don't see it on. I'm assuming you don't have it up yet.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I found
Okay.
it. Let me just adjust this thing here. Excuse me.
It seems like one of those games that would be like hundreds of hours. It seems like it's going for. It has some kind of like visual cues. I don't know why, but it reminds me a bit of Persona. Just a little bit. Cell shady kind of art style. It's pretty cool. You know, it looks interesting. It also looks like remember we at the beginning of the Xbox gen, there were two kinds of games that came out. I forget the name of the games right now. There were also, I think, Bandai Namco
Scarlet
games as well.
Are you talking
Exactly.
about
Scarlet Nexus.
Dude, Scarlet Nexus was awesome.
Yes. Yes, I dug Scarlet Nexus. That cell shady vibe. It has that kind of cell shady vibe. And
Tales of
yeah.
Arise was kind of like that too.
that as well, exactly. Those are the two I was talking about because they both had similar kind of style.
Yeah,
Tales
of
lent a bit
Arise
more in
was
the shade,
awesome.
in the cell shady.
I loved Tales of Arise. I
Yeah.
loved that so much that I instantly went out and bought the whatchamacallit, the expansion for it and binged that too.
Okay.
Yeah, the Tales from Arise series is excellent.
I dug the Scarlet Nexus music. It was over. It took it over.
It was great.
I loved the music. It was really
I
cool.
still need to go back through and play as the other character. I think I still have it installed to go back through and play as the other character.
All right, here we go. As you all can see, of course, the most important highlight of this Unreal Engine. Let's see here. Bandai Namco, second. Okay. Unreal had to get top billing, as you saw, Kay.
I hear you, man.
It's actually kind of concerning for this type of game because if it's an open world game, then like Unreal will be the bane, not
Unreal compilation stutter. Yeah.
like
don't listen
like-
to this slander.
I'll tell you, Unreal looked real freaking great in Chronos: The New Dawn, and I didn't have a single technical problem with Chronos: The New Dawn.
Let's see.
Chronos: The New Dawn was also a like Dead Space like and not open world, and it worked great.
Well, see, listen. Those were just competent developers that used Unreal to its fullest. That's all it was. And when developers that are competent in using it, you get good results. That's what I've been trying to tell our esteemed brother Kay about, because, they think it's Unreal. It's not Unreal. It's a skill issue from these developers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with Unreal.
It is getting slowly better. I've heard 5.8. They have a lot of the shader compilation issues not under control, but significantly down. Like significantly not as impactful.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks great. I will probably. I don't know if I'll be at this day one, but this is definitely I'm throwing it on my wish list so I don't forget about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'll just choose to I'll choose to bow out of this game because it has the Unreal Stankonia on it. So I'm just gonna bow.
Yeah, since you've made fun of Unreal, I'm just going to go ahead and go. You guys, thank you
Are
for
we,
having.
uh,
Let me stop.
Are we
Let me
Are
stop.
we really are we doing this? Oh no! I can't
Let
believe
me
he
stop
caught
before he
random
shows up.
strays.
he
He
shows
does this
up.
to me all the time, so I figure I'd sneak
He
up on him and
caught
do it to him real
random
quick.
strays.
Just notice, Paris, if you're lurking, because he was lurking last week. It was Kay that started this. It wasn't me.
For the record, I don't believe that he sounds like Paris, but it's just hilarious. I love it when he does it. Hilarious.
Gray pointed out that the new release date for AC Black Flag is July 24th. Nice. Let me read some of these super chats and stuff that came through. A membership chat from our good brother Soil Tech, who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you, brother, and the Fixer-Tier. He says, better watch out for Kay Asante, $85,000 Xbox. Bah!
You want to quickly know what that is?
What is that?
So in our Discord, right? They obviously the Mr. Wolf and all these they love their PS5 Pros, right?
Yeah.
And as it has been basically confirmed through various games, right? It has about 3% more oomph, raw compute. Pisser notwithstanding, it has about 3% more compute than the Series X.
Yeah.
Right. So they're all capping as they do. So I'm like, and I put it out there this morning. At launch, the Xbox costs $599. At launch, the PS5 Pro costs $750. So you got $250 extra
You mean
for 3% of
$499,
performance.
right?
Well, $499. Yes. So you got $250 extra for 3% more performance, and then I extrapolated it. So if it went from 0 with that model, it'd be $85,000 for the Xbox.
Oh, wow.
Insane.
I see. You have to give him the math. What's today's math? Assassin, my good brother, Assassin. Shout out to Assassin of the Red Wolf or the Renegade podcast. Now I believe it's now they've shortened it. He drops a $2 donation. Thank you, brother. He says Ed Boon leaves. What's their name? I literally had a brain fart. NR. What's the name of that?
NetherRealm.
NetherRealm. Yeah, thank you. I could not. It says Ed Boon leaves NetherRealm. Bandai want to lead Tekken? Smirk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see him in some capacity. Killer Instinct would make the most sense, I would say. It to me, just because you can do. They used to have fatalities and such in them. I can see them going back to that. If Microsoft wasn't like terrified of that. Soil Tech drops a $2 donation. He says, please like and subscribe and share out to save UE5. That's right. Thank you, Soil Tech. That's right.
Lord knows it needs it.
It needs all of it. Send all your money to Epic, please. Let's move to the main topics. I think that's enough for that. Thank you all for that in the chat. So let me switch to this.
We doing PlayStation or Xbox first?
Oh boy.
Move to Xbox first.
Okay.
That's what everybody came here to see. Hold on. Let me make sure this is right. Okay. It was not right. Let me lower that down.
Oh, can I while you're getting ready to you got it up? Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I wanted to clarify something before we started talking.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, the leaks about Xbox Magnus were false. Magnus is the name of the Silicon SoC, system on a chip. Is the code name of the AMD Silicon. It was never the code name of the console. People ran with it as if it was the code name of the console.
Right.
But people like Jazz and Tom Warren and even like the Silicon speaker, the people who talk about Silicon, like my least favorite YouTuber, Moore's Law is Dead, or other people, were always like, no, this is the code name of the Silicon itself. So, Project Helix console. The silicon inside the console, Magnus.
Thank you for breaking that down. Yeah, so I don't know how some people may have gotten that confused. I don't know. I thought that was pretty obvious. I will say once we get into this, I did see a few things that caught my eye with this new design here, which I did like personally. So okay, let me read this. It says, and this is from IGN. Shout out to IGN. Says new Microsoft gaming CEO Asha Sharma, who took over as the head of Xbox business last week, as longtime Xbox boss Phil Spencer retired, has confirmed the code name for Xbox's next generation console, Project Helix, and also confirmed long swirling rumors that the device will play Xbox and PC games. Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix. I want to bring that up too. Return of Xbox, including Project Helix. The code name for our next generation console, Sharma posted on her X account. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at my first GDC next week. And there's the Project Helix logo, looking all nice and sexy.
I really like that logo. I'm not gonna lie.
I do too. I will admit. I will admit. And in fact, this is the little trailer for it. I'll play it.
It's big. It's big, like modern.
Yeah, I like it.
It gives me like modern. What vibes? Like I think there was another one that was posted somewhere from them, that gave me big like original Xbox startup.
I guess I can kind of get that.
Modernized and in that weird modern simplistic branding kind of way.
I can kind of see with that little boom it makes at that one point. I can kind of. Yeah. It says.
It might even be the GIF that's on the official like Twitter.
Yeah,
if that's
maybe. What's up, Punty? Big up. Big up, Punty. It says rumors about the 5th generation Xbox console and its ability to play PC games have been making the rounds for some time. Though perhaps it won't be playing any first-party PlayStation games that make their way to PC, since Sony has reportedly pulled back on first-party PC support. So, that said, Kay, I'll start with you on this. What are your thoughts in general when it concerns this? And I know a lot of this is PR speak, but I keep seeing her say this, and that's that, the return of Xbox. What's your whole overall take of this, and what do you take from that? Is it just PR speak to just make people feel like, okay, she's centered on us? Like, what's your thoughts on all this?
Sir, look, I said it before, I will say it again. I think the Asha Sharma she has a hard road ahead of her. It's a difficult needle she's trying to thread here.
Yep.
And I wish her the best, because the way she's talking seems to suggest she's ready to give Xbox gamers what they want. And I, for one, and maybe it's my corporately polluted mind. I work in corporate America. I have for many, many years, almost 20 years now. So I'm polluted in that mind. I cannot see how you can possibly give gamers what they want, exactly what they want, which is exclusives, right? Like, I cannot see a world where you make big dollar games with millions of dollars in budget and then isolate that game to only your platform. Right?
No, they're never going to cut PC out. They're never going to cut PC out.
Well,
they are PC.
I would even say PC now. They've always been PC.
No, I'm saying like this is straight up.
Yes,
console is PC now.
I get that. Yes, and the moves they're making in the future is that way. I even say PlayStation, because look, the minute you open that box and then the money comes in, even if it's $1 more, changing path means explaining how you're going to fill that dollar up, right? And like, if it's a very minuscule amount, yeah, you can say we'll do this, we'll do that, and you can bypass it. Not all the games hit big, but the ones that did hit pretty darn big. They made a good amount of money. So the idea that they will now go backwards does not compute in corporate minds, right? So to me, that means you have to appease both camps. You have to both make PlayStation, Xbox gamers feel comfortable and feel like Xbox is quote unquote back, while not actually giving them what they want. Because what they want is for you to stop selling games on that platform, and that is not financially advantageous. It's not.
Well,
especially considering they know what the budget looks like already. They already know what the money They know what the ROI is when they have those games there.
Well,
And let's be clear here. Go ahead.
I have to count.
Please.
I have to disagree with that.
Please.
Because there's one major factor that I think we're missing here, right?
Okay.
We are looking at the value that a game brings in versus how much it costs to make as a closed entity, which it is for third-party publishers, right? For a third-party publisher, they spend X amount of dollars to make a game, they put it on stores, they sell it, they make a return back, right? As first parties, PlayStation and Xbox do have something different to look at when they are looking at that, because they can't just factor the value of their first party game on just how much money is that game itself bringing in. They also have to look at what does selling it in other places do to their ability to make the 30% cut on third party sales on their store, right? How much money is Xbox losing right now because they are losing core players who are selling off their Xboxes to just go use Steam or a PlayStation? How much Fortnite money, that's basically free money coming into Microsoft, are they losing because they do not have that differentiation right now? A game like Forza,
I would say that
I guarantee
Fortnite
a game
money,
like Forza they're putting on everywhere because it makes
that
buku dollars everywhere.
that Forza money, the Fortnite money you're talking about, that I might push back on you because they have limited. Remember, for a long time, Fortnite was free even in the cloud. You could just play it without a subscription. Guess what?
Well, yeah,
You can't do
but
that
the
anymore.
MTX, dude.
It made
All
too
of
much money,
MTX.
and it took too much of their actual cloud storage and cloud compute. Like, if you give it to them, they will play, to the point where they're limiting it on purpose, right? They are not letting you play like you used to play anymore, because that floodgate led to too much consumption of their otherwise busy Azure compute. So I don't necessarily see. I do hear you on that. The equation is always a bit different for a platform, right? It is always different for a platform because a platform has the other things to think about. But that, what you're describing, will lead me to where PlayStation went. But Microsoft is far beyond the looking glass. You can't put that to the toothpaste.
Yeah,
bag.
I don't see them. I don't see them
same
moving
thing
it
that
backwards.
PlayStation's doing though. That move some of your single player games back.
You think they would move some of them single player games from PC?
No, because again, the next Xbox is quite literally
Okay.
a PC that has a backwards compatibility. Like, Xbox is never gonna pull back from the big three that they have. They're never gonna pull back from cloud.
So you're speaking
console, and PC.
specifically from PlayStation when you say that.
PlayStation and
You think-
Nintendo.
Okay, I can kind of see.
Specifically
So you
Kind
think
of see
there's
that
a
one.
world. Well, here's the thing. Here's my question. I'll ask you, Crusader. You
Sure,
can tell
go
me
ahead.
point blank what you think. You think there's a world where the hamburgers, fries, and a shake, the trifecta, do not make it there? Halo, Gears, and Forza, because that's what they care about. And when I
I
say
think
they, I
it's
mean
almost
the
guaranteed to
poor
go there.
gamers,
I-
the
and-
ones that are so diehard, bleed green.
Yes.
Those are the tentpoles that they hate the most elsewhere. You think those get clawed back?
I don't know about Gears and Halo. There's an argument to be made either way there. Forza, definitely not. Forza 100% is going to be everywhere that they could physically
Exactly.
put that game, because that game actually attracts, on Xbox and PC alone, before they ported it anywhere, had like 32 million players. That's never going back. That's like pulling Call of Duty back. Never gonna happen. Minecraft, never gonna happen. Call of Duty, never gonna happen. Overwatch, never gonna be pulled back. The one game, and I think that even if they wanted to, this will be exclusive the first year of this console, is Elder Scrolls 6. I actually think that it'll be a platform launch exclusive because they're not going to put it on PS5. If they do port it, they'll wait for PS6.
I can see that.
But I truly think that it is the single player experiences that they will pull back on. I could even see a world where if they decide to split Halo's multiplayer and single player, where they put the Halo multiplayer everywhere.
That's
and they
quite
don't put the
literally
single
what
I
player.
can see
said.
that as well.
That's-
That I can see. That
That's
I can see.
quite literally what
Same thing with
I said
Gears.
earlier that I think they should do. We were having this discussion earlier in the GCP Discord, and shout out to GCP Discord. For those who haven't joined, you should. We have a great time there. But quite literally, Everborn was speaking, and he was saying he still feels a slight way about Halo being on PlayStation or going
I
to
do
it.
too.
Mhm.
I do
And
too.
I think all of us do. If we're all being
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
it just feels wrong, right? Because it's a major
But-
tentpole. It's what built Xbox. So much like you said, my thought went to keep single player to Xbox.
Yes.
Keep the multiplayer everywhere, free to
But
play.
here's my
Because-
question though. Here's the question I have on that.
Mhm.
You have a history of putting single players there, right?
Mhm.
Everywhere. And that history has produced mixed results, right?
Mhm.
Not everything has burned the world down, but some
Right.
of them really have. How do you claw that back and have that hole in your financial portfolio? How
Because
do you
I
now
think
say, because if you didn't have that hole, right? If you didn't know
Mhm.
what the potential of that IP could be, that's one thing. But you now know what that potential of the IP could be. That
Again,
number is out there.
I think that they're truly hemorrhaging their free 30% take that they're getting on games like Resident Evil 9 and stuff right now. Because they're not selling the amount of third-party content that they used to sell through their store. Not even talking about cloud. We can totally like looking strictly at the games that they are selling through the Xbox PC store and the Xbox console store, which does impact cloud because cloud has the bring what you own. But
Yeah.
just looking at the take they're getting, and I believe we'll talk about this later with PlayStation. I believe it's the same reason that PlayStation's scaling their single player back. The amount of money that they are making by putting those things elsewhere is not worth the damage to their ecosystem that is coming alongside it. Now,
And
Xbox
what's the-
firmly
I'm sorry,
planted themselves
sorry.
on PC and console, so like they'll never need to pull back from PC. They operate their own PC store. They just
Yeah.
need to get people to use it. That's a different challenge. You just need to. They need to really make it appetizing to want to use it over other options. But they need that 30% take, and I think they are hemorrhaging that 30% take.
What about the thought that yes, they may make a 30% take on most games? I don't disagree on that. But what about the thought that unlike PlayStation and unlike Nintendo, these guys are still living in lost leader land, right? Every console they build costs them money, right? And unlike Nintendo and unlike PlayStation, they do see a clear path where you can still buy their game without it costing them money.
So I think Helix plays into that though, right? Because the new idea for the console isn't really that it's a console anymore. It's that the Xbox PC store is merged with the whatchamacallit store.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different between Project Helix as a device and the computer that's to my right now is the fact that Helix will have a chip in it that lets it play like console games from before. So what's to stop them from being a loss leader? Their store
I'll push
is
back on you real quick and say
same on
that chip
everything.
doesn't do that, but okay.
What?
I'll say that chip doesn't do that, but okay. It's
Well,
fine.
they did say that they have custom silicon in it for backwards compatibility.
I know. But
If it's
I
not
will
the
tell
chip,
you
then it's
that
something else in the device.
they're doing virtualization. Virtualization's hardware
Sure.
agnostic. We've had this back and forth, but yes.
Yeah,
it's
that's
fine.
true.
Let's go on.
You're not wrong. Actually creating proper links between the Hyper-V threads to
There you go.
the
The
processor.
man that speaks my language. You understand what I'm talking about. Let's
So
move
Speak your
on.
language
for
quite
the
well.
nerd talk is why I brought Kay along, by the way. So, Kay, could you
I
possibly
try
break
not to
that
get
down?
too deep into
At the end
nerd
of the-
talk.
And
the
hey,
only
listen,
thing
it's
that's
the only way we'll learn some things. So, listen, I may have failed when it comes to the cloud situation with OneDrive, but maybe you can break this down.
Yeah. God.
Break this
I actually
down
would
for the
like to
audience.
Talk about OneDrive instead.
Oh my God. fuck
Please
OneDrive.
no. That thing is the bane of my existence. But Kay, I want to
fucking
see if you
OneDrive
kind of
sucks.
break down. So we see the Project's Helix logo, and it has the X, obviously an X,
Yeah.
right? It's really
Indeed,
cool.
indeed, yes,
But
yes.
if you see it move, it's the
saying a
DNA
lot
sequence
with that logo.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
and it's a
saying a lot
DNA
with that
sequence, so it's
logo.
saying a
Yeah.
lot. How would you explain this? Because it's very clearly talking about interconnectivity between this like web like service of different things.
Technically, what they're showing you is the Xbox One. That's what Project Helix that's where it started. Is it Xbox One? Yeah, the OG
Technically.
Xbox One.
Technically.
Because the Xbox One is when they first deployed their hypervisor and started running 3 OSs at once, right?
Yeah,
the
it was-
desktop OS, the one that you see, the back compat OS, the one that pops up when you see the little Xbox logo, whether it be OG Xbox or 360,
360,
and then the other hypervisor that plays the more modern game, right? So basically, what that is a long time ago they discovered that when you run hardware right to the metal, like if you think of hardware like its body, then you think of software like its brain, right? Like one brain to one body, and that's it. But it costs a lot. So what did they do? They found a way of putting multiple brains in one body and letting each of them think that they have the whole body when in fact they don't. And they put a third operating system at the bottom, a very low level one that hands resources off to the two operating systems so fast, give and take so fast, that none of them know that they're not the only one there.
This is the best way I've heard virtualization ever explained, by the way, Kai.
This is what I do.
This is bread and butter right there.
I could explain it this well.
Yes,
this is why I had to invite the brother through, because I knew he could explain it like no other.
Yes. So needless to say, they've been doing this for a minute now. If you have Windows Vista or onward, you even can run a Hyper-V version on your own machine if you have a Pro version or not. Right? You can do that. I run Macs inside my Windows. You can run Linux inside Windows. Crazy stuff. You can do a bunch of stuff.
I have a test environment in mine as well. Yeah.
Nobody wants to run Linux though, right?
Stop it. Anyway, so on your 360, on your Xbox One and your Xbox Series, they have all these multiple versions, right? This is why what do you call it? FPS boost and all these other things are possible, because all they're doing is like tweaking the virtual hardware. And when you tweak the virtual hardware, it makes the software respond, right?
Yep.
That way the developer doesn't have to go in and break code and actually modify anything. You just tweak the hardware, right? It's virtual. So you can say, well, this is 2 gigahertz. No, now it's 2.5. And now that CPU, now that game is performing a little bit better because it now thinks it has a 2.5, even though it doesn't, right?
Yeah, and you can do some weird stuff with graphic APIs too and trick them into thinking that they're running faster than they are.
Faster than they are. Exactly. So the man understands what I'm talking about. So needless to say, that is how they have been able to do all this. And this is why, if you've heard me say this from so long ago, I think I even wrote an article about it in 2004 or something, in 2024 and on Xbox Era, which is now day one. I wrote that, look, this is where they're going. Eventually, they will decouple their hardware from the hypervisor because their hardware costs them money. It costs them money every time they make it. They are not like PlayStation, where they revise to a point where it's making them money. Only guess what? Your PS5 ain't gonna last as long as Gen 1, because your PS5 Gen 1 was great. Your PS5 Gen 5 or however many revisions, now those copper pipes are really, really degraded because they need to save a buck, right? Xbox's hardware still costs them a little something. And if it doesn't, it barely breaks even.
Yeah.
So the idea of continuing down the lost leader path where, oh, the moment you buy a hardware, I'm not happy, I'm upset because it cost me at least a few bucks, right? It cost me a few bucks when you buy. I didn't win, I lost. So now I have to hope that you buy hardware and you buy software and you sign up to my subscription in order for me to break even and start making money from you, right? But this has been console gaming since day one. That's just the way it is, until these guys found a way of separating this method as the only way forward, right? So when you're a business and you find another way of getting them to the end point, which is buy your games without it costing you money, why the hell would you keep that around? The only reason they're keeping that around is because y'all are complaining so much for it. But the moment they get a chance they're decoupling that hardware.
Concerns too. They can't just turn any piece of hardware into, which is why they're going to staple the concept of the
to that chip.
They're going to staple the concept to the chip. In fact, they may
even though you and I both know that is not technically a thing, because it can run on anything that is raw compute capable.
Yeah.
Anything.
Now, there might be some very special whatchamacallits,
there's probably some API, some DirectX API,
more efficient.
Something that hasn't. Yes. But I bet, and I said this on our Discord today. I bet, just like FSC, where everybody was like, "You better buy that Ally," I'm like, "You watch out! I'm gonna run that thing on anything I want."
Yeah.
And I did that before the Ally came out.
There's also some licensing. There's licensing concerns, right? Like, can they legally transform the legal concept of distribution on their console from a hardware standpoint to a software standpoint? And I brought this up here before. If they can overcome that, any Windows device can become a console, and
Let's
they'll do
explain that
console
just
as
a
a,
small
or
bit.
as a service or some shit. They'll call
Yeah.
it.
So how we explain that real quick, if anybody remembers GeForce Now, the day I've been using GeForce Now for like years. If you've ever owned an NVIDIA Shield, you've had GeForce Now since the day you owned an NVIDIA Shield. They were giving it away for free for like almost 10 years until they tuned it up and turned it into GeForce Now, right? The day they turned it on to GeForce Now, your entire library was playable. Why? Because their claim to fame is, we're not letting you play your games. We're not giving you a cloud version of your games. All we're doing is giving you a computer in the cloud where you're playing your existing games from. So imagine you go to your friend's house and you log in to your friend's house with your Steam account. Now all those games are at your friend's house with your ID and you're playing it. The minute they did that, it was a Monday. Everyone was playing everything great. Tuesday, all games gone. Why? Because Ubisoft went, nah, fam, we agreed to let you play on a console. This is not a console. So you got to write a new agreement. And every single one systematically followed. Eventually those games came back. Some games never did because they're like, nope, we're not letting you do that, right? So all that is to say, a console is a marketing concept. It used to be bespoke hardware. Now it's just a marketing term. That's what it is, right? It's technically a computer that has off-the-shelf parts, that has a nice UI that makes you think it's bespoke, and it's not. But because that is a concept that's in the mind of the consumer, as long as that concept doesn't change, the minute you take that game and put it elsewhere, now you're not playing it on a console, even though technically you never were in the first place. It's been a PC. So they need to change the mind of the people in order for it to make sense. It's like technical words or technical terms are now being used as marketing terms because they have to. This is why they're making Magnus such a big deal, because there may be some APIs in it that make it run righteous and whatnot, but I would bet dollars to donuts I could run that on any damn hardware that's capable, any hardware, because that's what hyper virtualization does. It makes your hardware non-existent. As long as you have the right compute, you have enough to run the host and guest, it will run righteous and you won't even know what hardware you're running, right? So can this. It's just because of, to your point, Crusader, legal reasons. Because if you're able to convince the computer, the public of that, now what do you call it? Take-Two can go, nope, you're not putting it on a console. This is not a console, right? But if you can convince the people that this hybrid thing is a console, no contract changes.
And
it's
this
a little
is
fuzzy,
why
but it's true.
This is why it's really important that they said that they were going to do a family of devices and it was going to start with consoles. Because if you go back to the original announcement that they did with AMD, they talk about it being a potential future family of devices. And we've also heard from Tom Warren and Jez that they were looking to partner with OEMs, right? Because what they're going to do is they're going to take that custom silicon they have, they're going to let the OEMs customize it further and release, HP Omen desktop that has the silicon in it.
Almost like you read my article in 2024. I said exactly the same thing.
And then you could have an Asus laptop, an Asus ROG laptop.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, an
console
Asus
mode on
ROG
anything.
laptop that's all in one. It has the silicon that acts as like the legal. You can counts as a console, right? You do that. You have it on an ROG laptop. That's an all-in-one with a screen. A bigger screen than a handheld. It's got the battery that you could technically play it on battery, but it's got the keyboard and trackpad and everything built in. You do that, I think you could start seeing some numbers for these devices. The other problem that they face is they had to get people to use the store. Because none of this really matters if people aren't using the Xbox store. They really need the full screen experience to feel good. They really need to get third-party developers on board selling on the store day one with Xbox integrations like achievements, right? Like that's where that's the one drawback, the one fear I have about this device, because I'm getting it day one. I'll tell you right now, I will be purchasing this the day it comes out. The second I can pre-purchase it, I will be purchasing it. Why? I want all of the games that I have on my Series X to continue on new hardware and potentially play better on that hardware, right? I want that.
That was a bit of a discussion about those games being improved for the next gen as well, if you remember.
By default, anything that is play anywhere will automatically be enhanced because you will now have access to the PC version of the Play Anywhere game. I would
There you
assume that
go.
they'll have
Yeah.
something like smart delivery to make sure you're getting that
Yeah.
version instead of the console version when you go to install it to be 100%. Your cloud saves go with you because it's a Play Anywhere title. The saves just transfer, and now you have the options to pre-pick setting or to actually pick settings and take full advantage of the the just significantly higher clock speed of the CPU, the higher clock speed of the GPU, the additional RAM. Now that's gonna have a shared RAM VRAM cache like all handhelds and system on a chip AMD APUs do. But
So
it's really exciting if they can
Well,
get
but one
third
thing
parties
though.
to support it.
But one thing though, the stuff we were talking about as far as them old games running better,
Mhm.
that would be it's more likely for exactly what you're describing there, right? The Play Anywhere titles. But there is also an opportunity for the games that are not Play Anywhere, your old
More FPS
catalog,
boosts.
to also
Yeah,
benefit.
yeah.
But
Just like the
that
Series
would
X.
require
Just
more
like the Series
exactly.
X.
Exactly. But that would require more manipulation of the virtual hardware, right?
Yeah,
Because
and like
they did Series X virtual manipulation where it was like, oh, we
Yeah.
see the overhead, so we're going to tweak it just a little bit, and now you have CPU, you have FPS boost, you have resolution scaling, and all of that. If they are
And-
able to set Magnus on a new platform where your overhead is even larger, now you can continue to tweak the
that.
hardware and make it
Yep.
even more. Now, here's the even more interesting part. This doesn't mean the end of Xbox development. You can continue to let Xbox developers develop like they're developing on a console, even though that console doesn't technically exist in physical life, right? They can continue like the next Series X or the next whatever they call it can still be the same development pipeline because as soon as it's done, it gets put on virtual hardware and that's where it is and it can live there. So you as a developer never have to go, well, I guess I'm depreciating for PC code. You could choose. You can either go PC all in and then it'll be on Xbox, or continue to develop for the Xbox, console gen or console platform, and it'll also still be on a PC because it's just running in a virtualization layer.
I'm really excited for the GDC talks next week. I do think they're gonna trend more towards pushing developers to just develop the PC version
For the PC and
because
forgo Xbox? Okay.
Well, no, I'm saying the quote PC version because that version is going to work on this device and on all Windows devices, and I think they're going to push developers more into that line of thought. That also, if this is to be a family of devices, and you could have devices with slight variance in the clock speeds or RAM pools or things like that. I assume OEMs will be forced to have larger ones than smaller ones, but if they are going to OEM stuff out, I would assume that means that those OEMs are going to have the opportunity to sell it with more RAM, maybe increase the clock speeds further and things like that. And if you're doing that,
when it comes
you're going to want
that,
devs to build in modes that can actually utilize that. So I think they're going to push them more towards treating setting-wise more like a PC.
Honestly, when it comes to that, I see the future more like a Surface laptop. If you've been paying attention to any of that Surface laptop world, where they build it excellently, right? They set a reference design and then they purposely either overprice it or they give you a last gen chip. In this instance, I don't think they're giving you a last gen chip, but I suspect that their console, their Magnus main we built it console, will be over $1,000. And then and if you want it, you can have it, but you're paying for it. But obviously, the entire market's not for the people who are ready to throw $1,000 at a console. So then they'll allow, to your point, the Asus and the Lenovo's and anyone else who wants to jump into those waters, they get those preferential pricings that keep console bases happy, right? I think that's how it moves from moving forward.
I don't disagree. I do think that the biggest fear I have is them actually having the third party support, because I want Steam and Epic Game Store and things like that to be a choice that I'm actively choosing to go to them, not this game wasn't on the Xbox store, so I have to go there. I'm okay with that. I was okay with that with like the concept of PlayStation games. I was okay with that with the concept of games that PlayStation has paid for timed exclusivity for, right? But I'm not okay with that in like your standard Capcom Resident Evil 9 release, right? Like they really need to get third parties on board with their console, which is why I was a little I'm a little miffed about the licensing deal that they have for Game Pass for Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077, because they couldn't even get PC releases on their store from CD Projekt Red for them, let alone Play Anywhere, let alone converting them to Play Anywhere games, because they've done that plenty of times with games that have already come out. Hogwarts Legacy was the biggest one in the last like 3 months. But they didn't even get PC versions of those, which is why I'm a little nervous about the future of getting people to support the concept of this.
When it comes to that, though, I think it's more on a game by game basis. I've had I've had the benefit of being able to have conversations with some of the folks who themselves have taken those deals, and it really depends on when you're coming to it, right? Like the likes of Expedition 33, they didn't get like they got the great deal, right? Like Microsoft, that is, got the good deal because at the time you didn't know what you had, right? If you're going to that negotiation with The Witcher 4, you're already in the tank. You already know what you got. They're not in that much of a position of negotiation to really, really bend you over, so to speak. You know what I mean? And these days, as I understand it, they're not even in that mode necessarily themselves to really want to quote unquote crush competition, right? So they don't have too much in the financial tank to be like, yeah, we want to, exclusives and this and that, or take it away from people.
I'm not talking about exclusives. I'm talking explicitly getting an Xbox.
Just having games available. Yeah, having games available on the platform. I understand. But the one thing that I think they're doing better than most at these days, and maybe this is more a Game Pass conversation than their console in general, I'll be honest, they have great like folks who are in the background, like curating, seeking out those intelligent, interesting things you didn't know you really wanted in your life. Like they are better than most.
Expedition 33 is a great example of that. Truly.
See, and you're right, but I won't even go there because Expedition 33 is the monster everybody knows. I haven't played it yet.
It was the monster everyone knew, but they going in. I don't think the first time that game showed up, I don't think people thought that it was going to be what it was. But it was announced for Game Pass like almost immediately.
True. Yes, it was announced for Game Pass on that show. And I've said it before. I had the benefit, and shout out to Microsoft. They allowed me at Gamescom to go talk to the devs in the background. I actually saw it played a year before it came out. Really cool. And the minute I finished seeing them, I'm like, bro, this is going to be something else. It was fantastic. And we all know it is, right? But the point is, it's not just those, because those are the commodities that you know. Like, people can't stop talking about Dice a Million. It just showed up on Game Pass. Dice a Million, right? I was so enamored with Ball X Pit. Like, did you know you wanted that? Absolutely not. And I think it even started with like Vampire Survivors and the like. Right?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Shout out to the great Pixel Bit G in there, right? They know when to pick Mayo recently, Memories in Orbit. They know when to pick that game that you don't know is coming. Drop Douchey just jumped in there. If you haven't played Drop Douchey, freaking amazing. Tetris and a strategy game built in one. They are experts at picking the game you didn't know you wanted next. And because they're able to do that, their pricing and their negotiations stay relatively low ball, so they can give you a lot of that without having to worry about like having a Witcher 4 walk in the door and say, we need this, we need that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Witch. Like my fear is that the Witcher 4 won't launch on their store. Not that it won't come to Game Pass or anything, because like again, they just signed a deal to get CD Projekt Red's games on Game Pass years after they came out. But they, unlike other developers who
didn't put it on
for
PC.
Example, like Capcom, whenever they license a Resident Evil game, it instantly becomes Play Anywhere and have a PC release. They
Yep.
weren't able to convince CD Projekt Red to do that with The Witcher 3 or Cyberpunk 27. That's concerning. It's not that they I don't really care what they're licensing. It's the fact that even though they were signing a Game Pass deal, and they just did with 2 massive CD Projekt Red games, that they couldn't get them to put it, or that I don't know if they couldn't, but they didn't get them to put it on the PC store at all, let alone play
I
anywhere.
mean,
That's a little concerning for me.
CDPR, like on a PC game, I kind of understand because themselves are PC
Right.
gamers. You know what I mean? But I do see your point that
That's
if
the
they're not
concerning
able
part
to
with
get,
this.
if they're not able to get that equal across the board play anywhere stuff, it does continue that wishy-washy. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't stuff, and it should be just across the board.
Well,
You're
and
absolutely
it's concerning because developers are going to have the opportunity to be on this device through Steam without having to support Xbox at all, right?
Yeah, true. That is true.
And that, for me, as a core Xbox player, is a very big concern because I like Xbox achievements. I like the Xbox integrations. So it's very worrisome to me that, like, and it's something you can easily solve by like just getting developers to be like, yeah, we're gonna support the Xbox PC store and start getting all the developers. Like, it's a solvable problem. It's just that that's my biggest concern right now.
If it's achievements, you don't even have to have them on Xbox to solve them. You know that there are a lot of third-party achievement companies that literally just give you achievements for games that have nothing to do with that platform. Right?
I almost have 200,000 gamer score. Like it is like a meaningful reason why I enjoy playing the place that I am. Yeah. I have built up a large. It's not as big as other people's, mind you. I'm not an actual achievement hunter, but like. It's why I prefer to get my games on Xbox.
That's what I tell the ladies.
PlayStation.
Hey,
PlayStation I'll pick over PC. Because
let me jump in for a second here, Crusader. Okay. So we got a super chat from Santi that I should have read a while ago. She says she drops a $5 donation. Thank you, Santi. She says, "I'm thinking they can do exclusives because this system is a console PC. Also, have they ever given revenue numbers for PC?
Just like growth is at this percent. They're never gonna pull back their multiplayer games. It's specifically their single player games, and specifically pull them back from other console makers that I could see them doing if they wanted to grow their if they wanted to protect their platform in the way that we'll talk about in just a few seconds. PlayStation did. One last thing I wanted to bring up. Can we talk about how refreshing it is that we straight up just got the name of the thing and an outright confirmation that it'll play Xbox games and PC games in just a flat statement?
I mean, but
we kind of had that already.
Didn't even Sarah Bond say that?
She did.
She said that it will play consoles and PC games.
They say these things like it is our goal to do these things, or it is like it is like something that we want to do.
The Wizard said the same thing. The Wizard, shout out to Jason Roberts. He said the same thing. They've been saying it.
They all said the same thing, and it annoyed the fuck out of me for 2 years that they did this whole transition on how they were acting, but they wouldn't give any concrete details in a time when they needed to give concrete details. Like, I'm not attributing this to Asha. I'm attributing this to a marketing campaign that they're starting right now, where they're actually just straight up giving us detailed responses. This is something that Xbox struggled with before any of their problems.
I don't know if this is more about her being direct and more about this just being time to actually share more.
Well,
you know what
just
I mean?
Genuinely, the statement in general is more clear than Microsoft has been in like the last 10 years of me following Xbox.
But I'm saying I think that is
There's
the case specifically because
this same stuff
but I think it's also because this
X.
is the time for them to be more clear. Before they didn't have enough to be clear at the time to say, hey, here's the information.
In other words,
no, you're missing
my
point.
Bond was still in position.
No, I get what you're saying.
She'd be as clear now as
I do think that genuinely, if anyone like that that is a general recognition that they just haven't spoken clearly in the past. And I'm saying even when the Series X was in full swing of its marketing, they were doing weird wishy-washy talk. Not as bad as PlayStation was at the time, because PlayStation wouldn't confirm what was backwards compatible for forever, right? But it is something that Microsoft, whenever they talk about things, like Phil was especially bad about it, where he would constantly talk
true.
about like, this is my goal or my vision or things, but he wouldn't confirm that they were actually doing that.
Yeah.
He would just give these roundabout talks about like higher vision or things like that. And this is a very refreshing. This is the code name of the console. This is what it'll do. Come to GDC where we're going to talk more about it. Like I genuinely think that I'm not attributing this to Asha, by the way. I'm not attributing this to the new manager.
Yeah, it's
This
definitely
was
not
absolutely
hers.
this was absolutely greenlit months ago.
Yeah.
This
Hey, but
marketing
even if
plan.
it is Asha, I say give her as much wind at her back as possible. She
Sure.
has a very hard job ahead of her. Gentlemen, unfortunately, I must leave
All right.
because my family is like beating down my door.
Indeed.
All good.
Kay,
I'll tech with y'all all day. I'm sorry.
appreciate you, brother, for coming through. Tell the good folks where they can find you, and obviously we'll be coming up next for you.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, thank y'all for having me here, man. It's
This
always
was great.
great chatting with you
Our
guys. It's always
pleasure.
awesome. I love talking
Yeah.
tech and talking gaming with the brothers. It's always really cool. Y'all can come find me and Umbra and all the manners of great community members on the GCP Discord. That is discord.gg/TGCP, discord.gg/TGCP. And speaking of TGCP, the Gaming Circle podcast will be on this Saturday. We'll be talking more about this. I'm sure you'll get some slander from Everborn Saga and myself. But yeah, it's always fun to be with y'all, man. Thank you so much for
Indeed.
having me.
Thank you, brother.
it's always great
Appreciate
having
you.
you on.
Now get out of here before the wife comes through and just turns off your PC on you.
Oh, she's sending me messages like, you said 15 minutes. I'm like, I'll be right there. I promise. Peace.
All right,
Good night,
brother.
y'all.
Yes. Shout out to Kay Asante. I'll make sure to put in the timestamps and all the information for him in the Gaming Circle podcast later on tonight. Listen, we had one other major. I think we can kind of bypass Resident Evil for the most part because
Good game.
I can cover a little bit of
Yeah.
it, but I don't think you haven't had a chance to play it yet, right?
I have watched 2 of my friends do a full playthrough. I'm gonna pick it up, but I still have so many other Resident Evil games that I need to play that I
Okay.
want to play before it because it ties in story-wise to a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
that I know it doesn't, and I want to experience those games. Also, for $70, I just don't think I'll get my money's worth at that value. So
It
I
is.
am
It's a
going to-
relatively short game too. Like,
yeah, that's with a lot of survival horror games. Like it has to be a Dead Space or a Dead Space like for me to want to buy it day one, or Alan Wake. Like if they do another horror Alan Wake game like Alan Wake 2. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna wait for it to hit like $50, $40, $50.
Understandable.
That's more reasonable for me.
I still need to get through 7 and 8. Well, 6, 7, and 8 really. But I had FOMO and it made me jump on this. And
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I'll just.
How far in are you?
I am like very early in still, not very far in.
Have you played as both characters?
Both, yes.
Okay.
Leon is just a powerhouse, just
My-
mowing
yes.
through people.
That is my favorite thing about it is that because like 7 and 8 is basically all it's very much the same as how like what's her name, Grace, is that the new character?
Yeah.
It's very similar to how Grace plays, where it's like very straight up horror. I love that it's like a combination of you are the fear versus being scared to shit. That is a great way to break up the tension in a game like this.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me want to play. That's why I'm probably going to push through to play some other stuff to get to it during its first sale.
For sure. And I will say, like, again, the game is gorgeous. It definitely mixes it up. And if you play in like in a first person with Grace and maybe third person with Leon, it gives a nice, cool little balance. It doesn't overstay its welcome because it's probably like a 10 or 14 hour experience.
Yeah.
So I can understand even more so with you waiting because that's relatively short.
I don't necessarily conflate time with how much I'll spend.
That's
But
fair.
I
Yeah.
do conflate time with how much I'll spend if it's not necessarily a franchise or genre that I adore.
That makes
Because
sense.
like if
Yeah.
this was closer to Dead Space, like Dead Space is not a very long game. The Dead Space remake, not a very long experience, right?
Right.
But I bought that day one because I love Dead Space and I love that gameplay style. So like I'm not like I do factor in time, but like I'm only factoring it in here because I'm not the biggest Resident Evil person in the world.
Yeah, makes sense. So I do want to highlight these two things. Along with Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Resident Evil Requiem is now tied for the highest user score in Metacritic history, sitting at a 9.5. Impressive. And also, another record for it, it has surpassed 5 million units in sales already.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, shout out to Capcom and their team. They did make a post. They said they would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the over 5 million players who've braved the horrors of Resident Evil Requiem. Thank you for 30 years of support. And so yeah, the game is clearly doing well. I'm happy it's doing well. It's good to see. You know, Capcom has just been, they've rebounded, and they have not let go of that rebound. Like, they've come back and strong and doing what they have to do to get these games out there and scoring well. Now, many people are saying this could be a Game of the Year contender, Requiem. And
it definitely is. I think it and Pokopia are.
Yeah, you had to throw in Pokemon in there, huh?
Which is totally different games, but like I think they are. We'll see what comes out the rest of the year, but like, yeah, 100%. This is a
nominee
on an average year. This is a surefire contender for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
I don't know if this year is gonna be average or not, but like,
we'll see. This year is going to be crazy, packed.
Yeah, this year is going to be crazy.
Yeah, but to your point though, Nintendo will have something there likely. Maybe, why not Pokemon, right? Green Monad asked. He said, "Do you have to play in first person as Grace?" Nope. You can switch to third with her.
You can totally switch with both characters. That's awesome.
Yeah, you can if you want.
I didn't know.
One thing I will say is that Grace runs so slow. It is frustrating because she runs like a female character you will see in horror movies where she's tripping and stumbling and mumbling. It's like,
I'm telling you right now, if you don't like that, you're going to
be annoyed.
In 7.
You're going to be annoyed.
Because 7 is very much the same as that.
Oh, they make you fumble and bumble like that too in there?
I don't know if you necessarily fumble and bumble, but you don't move. You do not move fast.
Oh no.
You do not move fast in 7.
I see.
I'm not 7's biggest fan. I liked once I switched the difficulty in 2 and 3 to make it so you could actually kill shit.
Yeah.
I enjoyed those more. I had problems with I loved the gameplay design of those, except for the fact that like zombies, you could shoot them like 17 times in the head and they just not go down.
Right.
That frustrated the ever living shit out of me.
Yeah, that's too much.
Because like I would rather just get less ammo, like way less ammo, and just not miss and be able to take out an enemy in front of me. I don't find getting a lot of ammo and it taking a billion shots to kill a zombie to be very, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
But like that problem was not present in 7. You can actually kill things in 7. But I wasn't as big a fan of the first person and very slow movement of 7.
Okay, I see. Well,
so
I guess I best
4
get used
remake
to it.
is perfect.
Yeah. I guess I best get used to it. The difference is at least you do get to play as 2 different people who move at different paces.
And they have very different play styles.
Exactly. So I'll see how much more I'm enjoying it once I get further in. But there is, I will say, for the survival horror element, when you're playing as Grace,
scary, dude.
It is creepy as hell.
There's some shit that I guarantee you haven't seen yet that you're going to go like, oh my God. But my friend turned off the game and walked away while we were watching.
He was like, that's enough for me.
Yeah, no. He came back like 20 minutes later, but he's like, I had to take a walk.
He had to clear his head.
I had to take a walk.
Yeah, but if you all are interested, definitely look into Resident Evil. It is a worthwhile game. Maybe wait for a little price drop rather if you could. But the game is it's phenomenal from what I've played so far, and everybody I've talked to who has played it are loving it. Let's move to the last topic and then get out of here, and that is of course PlayStation. From the news here with PlayStation. Let me see if I can pull this up. There we go. So, let me read this. Sony has reportedly returned to console exclusivity in part because some within PlayStation are worried that releasing games on PC may hurt sales on PS5 and even PS6. new report has revealed that both Ghost of Yotei and Sorrows will remain exclusive to PlayStation 5 as Sony begins to pull back from PC. Bloomberg said that while Sony will continue to release online games on PC, single-player games will now remain console exclusive, marking a significant strategy shift. Sony had a strategy of releasing its PlayStation games on PC sometime after they hit console. This new policy marks a return to console exclusivity at a time when console rival Microsoft is all in on multi-platform. So expect to see fighting game Marvel Token on PC as well as PS5. And of course, Bungie's Extraction shooter Marathon remains a multi-platform release. Meanwhile, the Sony published but extremely developed, externally rather developed Death Stranding 2 and Kena Scars of Cosmora will launch on PC, but plans to release Sucker Punch's Ghost of Yotei were recently scrapped, Bloomberg said. Bloomberg suggested poor recent sales of PlayStation games on PC and a risk to the PlayStation brand, as well as a potential impact on PS5 and maybe even PS6 sales, were to blame for the policy shift. Meanwhile, Bloomberg suggested the prospect of PlayStation games running on the next Xbox, which look like it will run on run PC games, may have also encouraged Sony's return to console exclusives. There's no mention of Marvel's Wolverine in the report, but given the timing of its release, it's due out on PS5 exclusively this September. PC launch now seems unlikely. Sony has in recent years
even commented about that, by the way.
Yeah,
he outright was like, yeah, it includes this.
I mean, it makes sense. But yeah. So what's your thoughts on this when it comes to them reverting back to this? And some people, just to kind of throw it out there, some people were kind of like, like, for instance, I may as well name him. Colin Moriarty was saying that if you think that Sony is doing this because Microsoft has their new console coming out and this is their in response to that, then you've lost it or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know how sure why are you so sure on that? I think they have some factor into this.
It definitely has some factor. Is it the only factor? Like, if Colin is trying to say, if you think that is the reason, then you're an idiot. I actually also agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
If you think it's the reason, you're an idiot.
If it's the only reason,
there's a lot of reasons for this, and that is just one of them.
For sure.
Because, listen, Nintendo is back in the living room meaningfully with third parties right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Resident Evil Requiem plays on a Switch 2 at launch.
Yep.
And it's fairly decent on the Switch 2, right? You have Valve, who has entered the living room with not only the Steam Deck, but soon the Steam machine, right? Those alone aren't like the biggest sellers on the planet, but they are a factor that is eating into consumer spend in the exact same world that they're in. You have all of the PC OEMs like Lenovo and Asus and everyone under the sun is making a handheld gaming PC right now, right?
Yep.
That is eating into what they're doing. And Microsoft is coming out with a console that plays Xbox, like legacy Xbox console games, and will also play PC games, right? Which eats in on their space and also devalues their exclusives pretty hard because it makes everything an effective timed exclusive, and it, regardless of if they scale back or not, it also really impacts their ability to sign second-party deals that would be exclusive, or like for publishing, or even just like timed exclusives like Silent Hill 2. Because a lot of those developers aren't going to want to put stuff, or a lot of those developers aren't going to want an agreement to just be on PlayStation. The only one that was like left that was doing that was Square Enix, and they're not doing that anymore.
Nah, not doing it anymore. Yeah, and Capcom is selling crazy on PC right now. So
they lost their ability to a lot of their ability to secure exclusives through third-party markets, because like they're not going to want to skip PC. They with second-party stuff, a lot of those second parties, they were having a hard time getting exclusive deals without some kind of PC agreement shortly after like launch at a minimum, if not simultaneous. Like Kenna is a simultaneous PC PS5 launch. Death Stranding, they didn't own the the IP reverted to Kojima, right? It was gonna come to PC, so like they're kind of stuck there. They're gonna publish it because someone's gonna publish it, right? So you look at that and you realize that they need something to differentiate their console, because they're afraid of not selling the consoles. And like I said with Xbox, they're afraid of losing that 30% cut on the games that are on their marketplace. That's where PlayStation makes the majority of its money, not from its own first-party sales, not from like selling accessories like their controllers and stuff. They make the majority of their money by taking a cut from the people that sell on their store, right? That is where, if you look at the breakdown of their stuff, in fact, they make the majority of their money from MTX sales.
I would imagine
on their store,
from like Call of Duty and other guest titles and things like that sell on their platform. Yeah.
And if the calculus has told them, if like looking at the business spreadsheets has told them that the single player games that they're putting on PC, they're making money, but they're not making enough money to warrant the money that they risk losing. Right? So I hate this, because I have said this many times, that I would prefer to be able to buy a game on the store that I want and play it on that store with the integrated features. Right? I don't give a shit if someone's playing Halo on a PS5. If I can play Ratchet and Clank on the Xbox store with achievements, it's perfectly fine by me. I think everyone's happier. I think every consumer is generally happier when they can do that. They buy in exactly to the place where they're most comfortable, and they exist. But that's not a business reality that seems true for any of anyone outside of Xbox.
That's some sort of gaming utopia we're not ready for yet.
Truly, I mean, like, imagine if like you had to buy the right brand's Blu-ray to stick it in a Blu-ray player to watch a movie on a Blu-ray back in the day. Imagine you have to buy the Samsung Blu-ray to play on the Samsung Blu-ray player, but if you had an LG Blu-ray player, it wouldn't work. Like that's where I'm like, I hate the concept of exclusivity in gaming, because it's nonsense.
Yeah.
But it's the nonsense that has pushed the industry forward for like 40 years, so we're just kind of stuck with it for a long time. We probably just will be stuck with it for forever, and that's whatever.
Yeah.
So,
the timing seems kind of odd, right? Like, I wonder, because we still haven't heard any official word from Sony. This has only been from Jason Schreier.
Word on this. I don't think they're going to put official word on this. And also, I would like to point out that Jez first reported this back in October.
Yeah, last year, right? Yeah, that's right.
He did report this, that he had heard that they were scaling back.
By the way, it's good that he called it out too, because sometimes people don't give him his credit. Shout out to
the only place that you're gonna the only place that they're gonna mention this, like, they're not gonna put out a blog post saying that they're pulling back on PC. That's PR suicide.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, maybe at a show, right? A showcase, maybe.
The only place that you'd hear them talk about it is like in an investors relation report, where they have to explain a shift in strategy. Like, why would they ever actually come out and say that, oh yeah, by the way, like, we're not releasing games to you anymore, sorry.
I think that type of messaging, flip it on its head. Like, if you're saying that to your diehards on your platform, I think that gives them a surety, right? It assures them that you're putting them first. It makes them feel like first-class citizens. So you could say, hey, we're pulling back from PC, and we're going to keep single-player titles here to the platform. Multiplayer titles, gas titles, whatever, will be multi-platform.
I think they're more likely to just go back to using the only on PlayStation branding than anything.
I can see
again,
that.
I don't think they actively acknowledge that they're not doing this anymore. I think they passively acknowledge that they're not doing it anymore. Right?
But wouldn't you wonder, though, if they don't acknowledge that and be transparent, that maybe gamers who bought into the new transition, the new shift in strategy, will be like, wait a minute, where is Wolverine?
Yeah,
is Wolverine coming over? Is Ghost of Yote coming over? I bought the first one over here. You know what I mean?
They're guaranteed to piss people off.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to piss people off. Someone's going to get pissed.
Yeah.
right? Because this report isn't accurate, which it's a Jason Schreier report that he's reporting directly on Bloomberg, right? Like he's not like it's almost guaranteed to be like 95%
Legit.
accurate.
Yep.
Like there could be like one or two small details wrong. Like who knows? Could be wrong about Wolverine. Marvel may say you're putting this on PlayStation.
Right.
Do
I
it
would
now,
I would
or-
think they
right?
would, by the way, since they have to get a crazy ROI back on that.
Yeah, and again, they may be willing to eat some of the percentage loss on not putting on that, because if there was to be a game that would drive sales, it's the Insomniac Marvel games, right?
Yeah,
Like
for
those would
sure.
be the games to drive people to their hardware if
Mhm.
anything was gonna do it, because those are the games that actually sell like 20 million copies in their
True.
right.
Yep. Looking at the
So
Spider-Man titles for sure.
and people always go, but Crusader, uh, exclusives don't sell consoles. Yeah, bull fucking shit. I bought a fucking Switch 2 for exclusively for Nintendo exclusives. I bought a PS5 explicitly just for Ratchet and Clank myself, and I know I'm not alone there. Does the average casual do that? Probably not.
Definitely
But it
not.
probably does help lock them into the ecosystem when like it's the only place you can get Spider-Man.
Now, I was going to say, I think you're kind of unique in that not only would you come to it for Ratchet and Clank, many won't. I don't think many would go for
Yeah,
Ratchet
but
and Clank.
like other people will go to it for.
Other
I
games.
guarantee people will go to it for Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm
But
gonna
I
go
think
for
I don't
Ratchet
know
and
if it'll
Clank.
be ever one game that would do it though, right? But I think it might be multiple in third-party games. But also, I would say Nintendo is so unique in their approach. They're like aside from the standard of PlayStation and Microsoft.
They exist like only for those
Yeah,
things
like
for a
they're
long
wholly
time.
unique, exactly. Where you can say, "Hey, I'll go there for Fire Emblem." You know, I can see a slow mo doing that, or you
Yeah.
might say, "I'm going over there for Pokemon," right? So they're very unique in that specific case.
Yeah. Now, I do think there's also the kind of like mystique of the brand, so to speak, that like we are the place that has these things that other places don't, and even if people aren't going to necessarily engage with it, they'll pick that, and it helps reinforce why you continue to remain in such a place. Um, because maybe they'll release something for you, because there has like if they're all the same, then they have to compete in different ways. But if they're not all the same and they actually have different software, then that software props up the ecosystem in some way. And I do truly think that to some degree you hold on to a specific section of your audience by having something exclusive for them, if other parties are all going to have stuff exclusive for them. Like the problem that Xbox faces right now is if everything that Xbox does is on Switch and PlayStation and you want a console, why would you buy the Xbox that plays the least amount of things for you?
Now,
right?
to point out, of course, like to say people could look past getting Sony games. They could look at, hey, well, it's the biggest exclusive machine because you get to get PC. You get to. So now the good thing is they won't lose out on getting all these third-party games that were skipping the platform.
Right.
That is
very
that.
True.
But the problem is now Sony has pulled back. So like you can get the older games that's still there.
Yeah.
But, you know. So but you're right. If they're the only ones there doing that, they you know, you're odd man out.
Right, and that was always the problem with Xbox's plan was it was reliant on somehow getting past the other competitors still having exclusivity.
Yeah.
Because like if I can buy every Xbox game on a Switch 2 plus all of Nintendo's stuff, like why am I necessarily picking the Xbox?
Agreed.
Like
they have to have something.
And perhaps PC is appetizing to you, but a lot of people just want a really simplistic experience. Like they just want to be able to plug the thing in and it freaking work. And if you have to go outside of the Xbox, because like the reports have all said that Xbox is going for as streamlined an experience within Windows so that you don't have to leave the full screen experience and you can just stay in it and it will feel like you're in a console while you're in it, right? That's great. But if I have to leave that to get the stuff that differentiates it and actually like use it as a PC in my living room, that's not necessarily great because that means you got to pull out like a mouse and keyboard to like navigate Windows itself to grab the other stuff. Like that's not a great user experience.
Yeah,
That's like
it's
not what a
not very
console is supposed to
streamlined.
be,
Yeah. It
right?
won't- Yeah, console users are not
And
used to something like that. It'll be foreign to them.
and if I can get all of the biggest Xbox games, which there are some huge ones, right? Like Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be huge. I don't care what people say.
That's a fact.
Like Fallout 5 is gonna be huge.
Especially after the show has made it even bigger.
Yeah, like there's plenty of games that they're gonna release that are gonna be
Now,
huge.
imagine keeping both of those exclusive to the next gen hardware.
Yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like they really should capitalize on their single player stuff. Like Microsoft should do the same thing that Nintendo or that Sony's doing, and put their multiplayer games as a service everywhere. And like, listen, I'm probably at this point even going to say do it with Halo and Gears of War because
Yep.
the benefits as an actual player to having that everywhere and like the larger player bases and being able to play with literally anyone, no matter what they own, that's actually a huge benefit. And I can forgo the brand identity there myself personally. With Gears and Halo, it feels off, but I can get over that. But like the next Wolfenstein, the Blade game, the game from Toys for Bob,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
the Bethesda
Spyro.
games that are
Yeah.
coming. I mean, realistically, Fable, I would cancel Fable for PlayStation.
I would too.
Personally.
Yep.
Pull those back, and
What if
put
they gave them?
them-
What if they gave them like a year or two? Like, delay?
I still think that's too fucking lame.
Yeah.
And like again, I have to ask for any individual single player game, how much are you truly making on the other systems versus what you could lose in like
In
the
brand
free
recognition,
money you make
yeah.
from Fortnite existing on your platform?
That
Like that's the biggest question that I've had this whole time is they're definitely making far more money than they were on their games by
Right.
putting them everywhere.
Yeah.
But are they actually making more money as a division by doing that? Like long term, like are they really?
Is it doing
I
brand damage
struggle to
too,
believe that they
right?
are.
And the brand damage, is it worth that trade off?
Right. I truly believe that, like again, in a closed vacuum, they're definitely making more money on a per game basis. That they've definitely increased the like on a per game they are making it so that each of those games makes more money individually. But like, is that actually making Xbox more money overall with the impact that has in other places? And I can't necessarily. I mean, they could say, yeah, it's actually not impacting. I would like to see a long-term data spread because we've only had 2 years of data to account for that. I would really like to see when we have the crossover to a new generation. But like, but yeah, I have to. And like, and people are like, oh, if the exclusives didn't matter, like truly, if the exclusives didn't matter, Sony wouldn't be pulling back.
Yeah, they
If
must
it
have
didn't
some.
matter, they
Yeah.
wouldn't be pulling back. They would be pushing forward the day and date.
They've got some internally info for
they
sure.
have some kind of data that
Yeah.
shows that this is impacting their ecosystem.
It's
They
something.
would not pull back otherwise, because like even if they're only making a little bit more, they're still making a little bit more. And companies are all about profit. So if they're pulling back, even if it is just a little bit of profit, it is because of some kind of damage.
That makes some sense to me, and I
Like-
know I go back to, I go back to the thought like they're not. You don't make a move like this for nothing, right? Like
Correct.
they know what they're doing. They've been in business for a long time. There's something they've seen in their numbers that said, look, we're gonna have to pull some people back here. It's not working
Yeah.
out. Now the reality is, and I see your chat masters. And you're not wrong, right? Because this is his comment here, and he says, "You guys say that, but," and I'm guessing you meant to say, "You guys say that, but multiple systems, or about multiple systems, but don't understand. You think the game nerds. Most people don't do that. A PlayStation gamer plays Fortnite, Roblox, Call of Duty, and almost no one is there for exclusives. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't disagree with that, but do also feel that PlayStation is afraid that they're going to lose some of those customers to a different ecosystem, and they are doing everything in their power to make sure that they do not lose some of those customers. And Sony knows what they're doing, but Xbox doesn't. Yeah, I actually genuinely believe Xbox didn't necessarily know what they were doing, because that's why leadership, that's why Phil was retired. He was done. He's done. But when they replaced him, it's why they didn't replace him with the heir apparent. I truly believe that Xbox didn't know what they were doing for the last 2 years. 100%, I feel that they did not know what they were doing.
I'm not so sure, but by the way,
exactly.
that LOL was for the newscast
Yeah.
masters. You start posting back and back.
Yeah.
But
It's
he heard Fable being he thought he heard Fable being canceled, and he's about to flip out.
And I don't think it was just the previous leadership's problem. I think it was Satya Nadella on top not knowing what he's doing in gaming.
That I can agree with, and
I think that either Sarah's decisions to implement that weren't good, or her own decisions in general weren't good, right? And you can blame that. You can blame it up the chain on Satya. You can put it on her. It doesn't really matter. What matters is their decisions are not what anyone else in the industry is doing. Even Valve isn't putting things like CS:GO on other PC stores. They're not putting Dota on other PC stores. There's a reason why their games have been fairly restricted to their own stuff, and they didn't put Half-Life Alyx on any other VR equipment but their own, right? There's a reason for that. No one is doing what Microsoft is doing in gaming outside of putting games as a service games everywhere, because this report states that they are not pulling back on the games as a service games going everywhere, right?
Yep.
That is the one thing that Xbox and PlayStation do agree on in that matter, is that putting your multiplayer game that generates a ton of money and is dependent on how many players are consistently playing it every day, putting that everywhere actually matters. But when it comes to platform differentiation, PlayStation is suggesting that we tried this and it didn't work and it's hurting our brand. And I'm telling you right now that the same is 100% true for Xbox. Whether they'll realize that or not before it's too late is another story.
I
guarantee to you, everyone right now, that they are internally at Microsoft running every scenario for everything that they can change in any way, just a slight tweak or a full-on change to their strategy. They're running every scenario right now, and they were running it before any of this news came out. What they'll act on, what they'll actually choose to do, if they'll choose to change anything at all, that's a different story. But I guarantee to you that they are looking at every single change that they could make to their ecosystem right now that is viable to implement, to see what that looks like for them as well.
I'm
and
hoping
they're totally doing it now that this has happened with PlayStation.
I'm wondering.
Guaranteed to you.
I'm hoping that they're actually really paying, like as we say in the chat and GCP Discord, taking telemetry. But I'll say this: I think, and I said this earlier, thinking about this, Sony is in a different type of situation. They don't have the money Microsoft have, right? They don't have the way, like a lot of weight is put on the gaming division. Yeah.
They only have the PlayStation Store. And they make more money on third-party sales than they make on their own stuff.
Indeed.
So using their own stuff to prop that up makes sense.
It does. So theirs is a very specific use case, right? And Microsoft doesn't have that same situation. But I'll also throw this out there at you, because this is my worry. I'm still not on full board with Asha.
I don't know that I am either. But
let me throw this at you, though. So
go ahead.
This is why I say this, because if Microsoft is not going to change and say, hey, we're going to have some exclusives like Sony is doing here to pull people to the console, it would only reaffirm my thoughts that Asha is not there to continue on hardware after next gen. It would be that she's going to move them into being just a publisher.
So here's the thing. The only reason I give Asha the benefit of the doubt is these changes happened under Phil and Sarah. For them to undo them would have been more radical than for the new person that I know nothing about to make changes. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
there's not a reality where Sarah Bond changed the strategy that she started.
Right.
Whether or not you want to blame her for the strategy existing is a totally different story. But there was no way that it changed under Phil and Sarah after just starting it. So if a change was to happen, it's going to happen under the new leadership.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
For sure.
And like whether she'll do it or not, I have no idea. I find it very odd that when
Yeah.
they've replaced like there's things that don't line up and make me go because they put her in that position. And if I was to think that she was going to be a total stooge for Satya to do whatever he wanted and just be a dumb face, right? I would think they would also put that same person under her in Matt Booty's position instead of giving it to Matt Booty. But they did promote Matt Booty. That doesn't make sense unless they do actually want to do something with this company.
I'm still confused
Right?
by that, but hopefully that is the case. Maybe it's
Also
just that simple.
confused by that. But
Yeah.
I'm more confused by it than just they promoted Matt Booty again. I'm confused by like nothing quite lines up with how I would want to predict something. Because like again, if they really wanted to, if Satya really wanted to like completely overhaul that division, they wouldn't put a long-term person in a leadership position when they're changing the leadership positions, right? The fact that they only did it with one of two is wild to me. Because it doesn't make sense. Because you would think that they would either put 2 and 2, or you know what, it would either be 2 corporate faces or 2 promotions within the brand. But it was 1 and 1. Which implies something unpredictable is happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
And that's where like I give Asha a little bit of more of the benefit of the doubt than maybe I should, because she is like addressing that like the fact that she again I'm still hung up on the fact that she responded to a random Twitter user about like a random 4,000 follower Twitter user about exclusivity on like before her first day on the job with the "We Hear You." It means nothing, but why do it? Why do that in the first place?
I feel like she's kind
Like-
of just saying what people want to hear.
But why would you do that in that way? When you would like, if you want to tell people what they can hear, just go do another interview and say something. Why directly address a random nobody on a Saturday when you haven't started your role yet? Like, that doesn't make, like, it makes sense that she was telling people what they want to hear, but how you're doing it sets up weird and bad expectations unless you're actually looking into stuff, which is wild to me that they would actually be, like, that she was actually looking into that stuff at that time. Now that we know that, and I'm sure Microsoft knew that PlayStation was scaling back because they know what their competition is doing.
Typically,
Like,
yeah.
Typically, these companies do. So, like, is part of the reason she put in because, like, this was a kind of a bad situation for the vision they had for their brand, that PlayStation's is scaling this back? Because this does impact the, the ability for that device to get around exclusivity, which was one of the benefits that everyone has been talking about since that this was first rumored, right?
It's very true.
That holy crap, this will get around stuff. Like, that's a giant weakness, like a kink in the armor. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, part of me is like, did Phil and Sarah put too many eggs in the basket, and now, like, someone else has got to come in and be like, how do we fix this? How do we solve this? Because it is an awkwardly bad position for them.
I would be very interested in seeing if Microsoft follows suit. I would say too, I want to see how this plays out for Sony here. Like, what numbers will we see that like change things? Because to Master's point in the chat, people do go to the platforms for third party mostly, right? But I want to see if this will. This could cause an effect where it reinvigorates the base. Because I've seen tons of the PlayStation faithful are hyped that Sony is doing this. They feel like you're seeing us, right? They feel like you're making the choice to put us first. That's how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So I do want to see how this
Pio?
pays off for them. You say who
you know
now?
Pio on Twitter?
Pio? I'm not sure.
PYO. I'm trying to.
Oh
let me-
yeah,
let
yeah,
me-
yeah. Pio, Pio.
Mr. Pio,
Is it Pio?
jacked
Pio?
PlayStation guy.
Yeah, I know about him. Yep.
He's praying that Microsoft goes back and does it because he thinks it'll be the best form of the best
Competition.
competition
Yeah.
we'll have forever.
Yeah.
Because they each look like they're doing really cool and weird things. And like, you put you put you put more you put more of that together. It's just it is a recipe for like an actual competitive ecosystem. Am I saying that people with 4,000 or less subs are nobody? I mean, I have less than that, and I'm a nobody on the internet. You are listening to a nobody on the internet right now. Yes, I am saying that the person with 4,000 or less subs is a nobody. That includes me.
Listen, Jesse Jackson told me that I am somebody.
I'm
Rest in
a
peace,
random
Jesse.
motherfucker that you have come to on a Thursday night to listen babble about the video game industry. That's all I am. I am a nobody. It's not a problem. But like the CEO of a $100 billion division of a like what $3 trillion company is tweeting someone who doesn't go by their full name, a random user who I and by all accounts, I'm pretty sure they were just a random user who who tweets stuff and has followers, but I don't think they were like a podcast host or anything like that.
Right.
Like I don't think they actually were like a major, even a minor face in the industry besides like someone that people just like tweets back and forth with people. Like it's odd. It's really
It was
odd.
Asher responding to Ladies Man 217.
Like if
Shout out
it
to
was,
whoever remembers what I got that from.
If it was like if she had like responded to someone like Paris Lily, I would be a little bit more understanding, or like
Yeah.
even like a Colin Moriarty. You know, I don't like the man, but like.
But maybe she knew that it would look
a public image. Like
maybe
this is not a person with public image.
sure. And I guess people would be seeing what she would post anyway. And also, if
Yeah.
you're posting to the Parises or the Collins, it would look
It
a bit
doesn't look
shieldish.
Yeah,
Like it's coordinated.
like, and that's where I'm like, why? Like that's where it's like, why do it unless you are actually looking at things? It doesn't mean necessarily anything will come, but like, why risk it? It's either really bad strategy and she didn't really realize what she was doing in doing so, or they are genuinely looking at some stuff. I tend to believe that they are genuinely looking at some stuff.
Yeah.
Whether anything comes of that is a different story. But like, at the end of the day, I do think that they are looking at trying to raise up their core audience. How they actually try to do that and whether they'll be successful. Again, totally different story. I do think that they are looking at ways to do that and maybe how to do that.
Yeah, well, here's hoping. I mean, competition is a good thing. I think we all can agree. I don't know if Microsoft is going to shift back because, again, I have my doubts to the point of tinfoil headery, and where I feel like, you know, this gen is our next gen is already set up for the 10th gen. She had no hand in that, and that would be. I've said it before we heard any other details that, and many people have said I'm not unique. That will be the last gen for Xbox, and that it will go into third-party OEMs. And
listen,
such.
I've heard that. I heard that about the Series X as well. Like
Yeah.
people were like, "This is going to be the last gen for Xbox after the Xbox One." Like I'll believe that it's the last gen of Xbox when it's the last gen of Xbox.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. Things could turn around too. Maybe it sells well enough where people like
Yeah.
Microsoft change their strategy.
Like,
So there is that too. But I'll say all that. I say all that to say that my worry is that Asha is kind of a plant still. That's one of my tinfoil head is.
That's not an unreasonable take. My only and there's a portion of me that also thinks that, right? It's just that
Yeah.
like we don't I genuinely don't have enough data on this person that points in any one direction.
That's true.
Like if they were an industry person, even from another company, we can follow their track record of stuff.
Yeah.
But like even her AI track record was only 2 years at Microsoft as a business head, not even like a person who implemented, but it was like someone who was trying to get people to buy on and use it. Like and who doesn't even like really know what it is. Like she knows as much about the gaming industry as she knew about AI when she took that role. Like I'm just like I can't get a read on what she's actually there to do because there's nothing
Yeah.
that I can base that read on. Like it's so
I guess that's why I'm skeptical still because I can't get a
sure
read. So,
and like for the same reason
yeah.
that you're skeptical is the same reason I'm optimistic.
Oh man, one man's glass half empty is another man's glass half full. Huh?
Yeah, and like I think I'm optimistic just because of Sarah and Phil were pissing me off for the last like 2 years because they wouldn't answer things, and when they would answer things concisely for once, like 3 months later, it was just not accurate anymore. Like it was pissing me off. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm kind of like, she doesn't have that stigma to her, and she might build it. She might piss me off. She ain't got it right now.
I wonder
She
why.
don't-
I wonder why they became so vague. I think it's they became gun shy because they had to pull back from social media.
And it was about
and
everything.
responses.
Like
Yeah.
like it was about like the exclusive like how they were like moving away from exclusives. Like at the beginning it was like it's just 4 games, we're not breaking the dam or anything, like
Yeah.
that would be bad. And then within like 8 months it was the dam is broken and there's no red lines anymore. We don't see any red lines anymore.
It's
and
unfortunate because again, I know that's Satya's vision. I know he
and that-
forced a lot of that. You know what I mean? But if with Sarah, like I'm still salty about that one because
yeah,
we
I
know
just-
they were prepping her for that role, and
and like I don't know that if she like I don't know if like she was like pushed, if they were truly pushed into doing what they did, or if she thought it is what Satya would have wanted, and so she
Yeah.
went with this vision of like, this is what Satya would want. This is my golden ticket to the future because I'm gonna get everyone. I'm gonna make Xbox on mobile and Xbox on PC these huge things that usurp console, and I will become the golden child. And it backfired. Like I don't know which of those is true. Both of them really have Satya at fault because the man doesn't understand the industry, and whether you're trying to please him or whether he's making demands, are you know they're coming from the same rooted problem.
yeah, true.
Like so.
I will
But
say,
here's one last thing for you. One
What?
last question I'm going to
Yep.
pose to you. One last. 2 weeks ago, I would have thought Xbox shifting away from exclusives was unthinkable, or shifting back, unthinkable. It is wild that in 2 weeks, that I now think that it is maybe not. I don't know if it's likely or not, but it is possible now. Do you feel that same way? That
Yeah.
in the span of all of the news in the last 2 weeks, that like a slight shift, even if it was like the timed, for select games, is possible.
yeah, I see room for it. My doubt of her aside, there is room for them to make a shift. There is. I just don't know if they're going to do it. You know, my thought is that it's antithetical to Satya's viewpoint of how he views exclusivity, and I believe I don't know if she's going to be the maverick to turn against his vision. You know what I mean?
Right, and I could. She is also a business person who can talk to business people. So like, if anyone was to convince Satya that like, hey, I understand you really hate this. I hate it too, but we need to do at least a little bit of it, because if we don't, we're gonna lose so much money on
Yeah.
our third party, right? Like, and maybe you know it is someone else. Maybe by having someone in there that Satya put in there, if she does genuinely look at it and wants to turn it around, like she is a genuine person, maybe like she can convince him that some things just have to be done certain ways. Maybe him hearing it from an outsider would be better than hearing it from someone he may feel is just there for the love of the brand and doesn't actually like, and it isn't there for the love of making money, but only for like the love of the brand. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll add this too because we do have to wrap it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
And shout out to Pixel. I see your post, Pixel, but I have to get going, so I can't. Listen. It's funny because he said this. Let me read it for him. Better yet,
She was the head of the division, not just the head hard.
I'll read it. I'll read it really quick. He says,
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
he's getting on my nerves. Umbra needs a bit of
That's the dumbest thing I've ever
pushback. She was head of hardware. Let's put blame where it belongs. We need a study on dudes, hate on Sarah, and constant need to put out. I guess put her to blame. I don't know if you can speak for yourself, but we actually had Pixel last week a much more passionate and heated discussion on this. Trust me. So I would just be repeating myself on that. I know where Crusader stands on that. He knows where I stand on it. And I can't exactly prove all of what I'm saying on some of the tinfoil headery, but we've had that discussion. Last week was a strong discussion on it, believe me. But this right here, I think we are in agreement that all of us, I think that this is largely Satya's doing, right? In one way or another.
Whether it was implicit or explicit, it's all Satya's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is the root of all problems. It's just whether he's the only one to blame.
Exactly.
Or whether the people implementing his vision were also to blame for implementing it as poorly as the vision was.
Yep.
Like that is the true question.
Exactly.
Like, her job, she spearheaded strategic direction and operational execution for the Xbox platform. She oversaw cross-functional teams in product development, engineering, marketing, and sales. Drove initiatives and planning for legal finance to streamline operations and improve overall business performance. She was so much more than just the head of hardware. Right. The head of hardware is Jason Ronald. That is his job. He is only hardware.
Yeah, that's a fair point. To Santi Lou, Santi Lou pointed out, she said, remember Satya said he doesn't understand the exclusive business and doesn't like it. And that's the problem I have there, because that's why I don't believe they might go back to it, because it's just antithetical to him.
That's not what he said, though. He said that if it was up to him, he wouldn't have exclusives, but he understands that the business rides on it. If you read the actual under oath quote from him from the FTC trial, he states that he does understand why they exist. If it was up to him, they wouldn't, but he can't. That's not a reality.
But then which is why I'm like twice. Not post, but then he make a comment on exclusivity multiple times, though. Aside from that,
he says that he wants to meet players where they are and all kinds of things like that. But he is directly quoted under oath in a trial, stating that he does in fact understand why the industry does it, and that it's not necessarily something you can escape. So that's where I'm like, yeah, he really wants to move away from it.
Yeah. Well, we could see. We could see how it works out. I'll say this. I think it was interesting seeing Totoki's thoughts on this, him being the, I believe, the CEO of Sony. And he spoke about, it felt like he was looking for more ways for them to increase revenue with Sony, which made sense to see them going more multi-plat with their games. But now you got Noshino, who's changing it around, who's the head of PlayStation. So I wonder how that contrasts. And so it seemed like he was headed toward the direction where Satya was, at least where Xbox was, I should say, as far as the lack of exclusivity. So it is interesting Sony is doing this, and I do wonder if at all we'll see a shift from Microsoft to follow suit in some way. I hope they do in some ways, because I mean, I've always held true to this. I've moved to PC gaming, so I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. But I do believe I still have always held on to the thought that exclusives matter, for a good section of the gaming community. So, I'm interested in seeing how that might work out. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say the current dude who's the head of PlayStation was the head of their mobile game operations at one point. I'm pretty sure. He is a dude that's all about generating the most amount of money. So it is kind of wild that people thought that the Jim Ryan era was gonna get expanded under him. That's why everyone thought that they were gonna go day and date on PC and maybe even move to other consoles. But
right.
The fact that it's receding under him is an even bigger deal. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. Listen, we have to get out of here, y'all.
Yep.
It has been it's about to be 3 hours now for the show. Literally, we were trying to keep it to 2 hours, but that's what happens. Thank you all in the chat for coming through and spending time with us. Thank you all for the not only subscribing or being a member, should I say, like Soil Tech and a few others, but also for the super chats that you all sent through. We appreciate you. Let's get out of here, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I see you,
Yeah.
Pixel.
Oh. Yep.
Uh,
I thought you were talking to me.
hey, listen, Soil Tech. We almost had a 4-hour show last week, quite literally. Yes, we got to get out of here, and because I have to get going to work. What was that? Oh, since he said this is what he said regarding exclusive deals. Nadella
have
said,
no love
"I have
for
no
that
love
world."
for that
Yeah.
world." Yeah.
Yeah. But like the full quote is like, "I have no love for that world, but it is kind of how it is." like,
Yeah.
like
I don't like it, but I'll do it. Basically, is what you're saying.
I have no love for the world either. I agree with him, but like,
yeah. Yeah. So, but listen, thank you all in the chat again. I appreciate you going to find the quotes and everything, and I love the energy. I appreciate it. You all keep us on our toes. Yeah. Crusader, tell the good folks where they can find you and what you'll be up to.
yeah, you can find me at Crusader3456 on most social media, Twitter and Bluesky especially. I'm gonna be playing more Pokemon Leaf Green, and then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna play. It'll be something. I'll be playing something.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for work needs to calm down a little bit. We've had a lot of turnover and changes, and I need things to calm down and be normal again for my life.
Sure.
So.
For sure. Yeah, as far as myself, Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite, you guys will find me on social media with that name. Either way, Tuesdays at 12 o'clock Eastern, the Xbox Factor. That's with myself. That's with Boom Excel, Mr. Boomstick, and Jamie Moran. And back here with me and the fellas on Thursdays, typically at 8 o'clock Eastern. For myself, I'll be getting back to Resident Evil tomorrow. I'm going to try to get really far into it and play a bunch of that. Also, Planet of Lana 2, which for those who are Game Pass subscribers, go and check it out. Excellent. First one was excellent. I'm sure the second one is great too. And that's really it. And again, thank you all for coming through and spending time with us. We will talk with you guys next week. Later.